I got him! Wiz, I got him! I got him, buddy! It's funny. I have this game like all the settings max. Oh, dude, that guy almost threw you off, dude!
Why are you getting so greedy, dude?
Oh! Snap! Oh, wow!
Nice. Well done.
Wow! Dude, a save right there. Let's go. Dude of save.
Hey Siri. You suck.
That doesn't sound good.
Distro!
That was a clutch save though. Like holy cow.
Like, oh.
Boss looks like he's taking a bunch of bars in the face.
Not chancing that.
Oh dang. Oh, that guy fell. I got him! I got him!
We made it. No, we didn't.
That smoke though got ya. That smoke totally juiced. Smoke troll. Smoke troll. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Here. Hey, a helmet and a Oh no! Oh my gosh! Don't do that! Oh my gosh, dude! What is that?
That was due to Rock exploding because Cricket
Is
shot
he
him,
dead?
or- yeah, he's dead. He exploded.
We can't get to him anymore?
No, he exploded. He either hit that rock or Cricket shot
I
him.
think he hit the palm tree! Dude, he hit a palm tree! Let's investigate
I
this.
dream of being a vending machine sometimes. I spot sad.
The game is very...
Oh my gosh, stupid controller.
Dude, I hate this controller so much sometimes.
There we go. Oh my gosh! Literally. What the literal heck? This controller sucks, dude. Can't do jack squat, man. I swear, if I put this controller anywhere near my desk, it just flips out. There it goes again. It just died again. Are you kidding me? Ramp him, Dude of Rock. Ramp him! Oh! I clipped that. Yeah, he says Dr. Pepper's gross, and he's eating this stuff.
He went for it. He totally went for it. Don't pass out while you're...
It's gonna be interesting. Like that.
We gotta start running because something happened!
Oh, Dude of Rock with a $5 donation. Oh my gosh.
No waffles!
Oh, thank you so much, Dude of Rock.
I can, but then I can't hear the bad guys.
Waffles, 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 waffles,
Ah!
waffles.
Ah! No! He got me! No! It scared me, dang it!
Oh.
Dang waffles! My heart. I gotta take a break.
Oh, that clip makes me laugh every time I see it. Welcome everybody. We are here to check out the newest version of RetroArch on Xbox Series X here. So 1.9.14 came out on Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night. That's what it was. I was going to check this out yesterday, but I ran out of time because I was doing a bunch of other things, so we're checking it out today instead. But welcome everybody. What up, Eli? You have Retail RetroArch. I don't cover Retail RetroArch. And RetroArch actually can't run a native 4K right now. It's broken for that, so it's limited to 1080p anyway, even if you upscale it. Chrissy Chris, welcome. Doc, how's it going? We're doing Series X stuff today. You can upscale PCSX2 up to 4K. It just won't output at 4K because there's no 4K support in RetroArch at the moment on Xbox. Internet's working better today? We'll see. Hopefully. Internet willing, we will be covering RetroArch today. Who knows? Who knows what will actually happen? What up, Jedi? I said that already. I don't care. What up, Jedi? We'll say it again. Zero, what up? Today is Tuesday night. It is Tuesday night. Duck Station's amazing on Xbox One. Thanks for installation guide. Glad I could help out. Alright. Nervous to update, Cra? Hey, if you got it working the way you like it, don't even bother. I mean, Xbox updates might kill it at some point, but otherwise, there's really no reason to. Fainting part and Modwife comes to the rescue. Yep, I love that clip. I said it came out on Sunday night, and I'm covering it today. We need to get Zero some new friggin' ears, everybody. Anyway. Updated RetroArch, but it says failed to open lib RetroCore, which I do. Reinstall it. I don't know. Yeah, the Xbox dashboard updates have made RetroArch on Xbox a very hit and miss process. It has been working exactly the same for me as it always has outside of playlist breaking. But people have been able to not get things to load, their S drive doesn't show up, like all kinds of nonsense, but my S drive never disappeared. My USB drive still shows up. And I can still load games over 4 gigs, so I don't understand why it's different for everybody, but that's where we are. It's like MetalGearSolid 3 on PS2. It still works on mine. Don't know. Can you use shaders on this version of RetroArch? Yeah. Yes, you can. At least for the Xbox version. I mean, if there's a specific version that broke it, I don't know. But like, there you go. There's my example of over 4 gig games still working on older versions, so whatever. Not sure why it's different for everybody. But we're not here to look at 1.9.13. We're here to look at 1.9.14, so we're just going to close this stuff out real quick. And actually, let's go bigger screen here. Keep that music going for a little bit. Like it. Yes, deleting your RetroArch install deletes everything that's in for that program. It doesn't wipe the S drive completely, but deletes everything related to that program in its folders. So we'll show you what I mean here in a second. Let's see here. We need... Sorry, my mic's like in my way of seeing different things I'm trying to do here. So we're going to hide that for a second. We're going to pull up that. I only have one monitor on this computer now, so it's great stuff. There we go. So there's my RetroArch file share that I made, like in the tutorial. Okay. Making sure I'm not getting an important call or something. But yep, so Windows apps, RetroArch folder, and I'm gonna back up everything that I always back up when I update. So config, games, playlists, saves, shaders, states, system, thumbnails. So all those. Just gonna move them out of that RetroArch folder so they don't get deleted when we uninstall RetroArch right now. Alright. Let it do its thing. Trying to put PS2 games on RetroArch and no luck. Well, for me it's no different than what I've shown in my videos, so I don't know. Like I said, it's not changed for me since I made that video. Alright, so now that I got all those folders backed up, or moved rather, I can uninstall RetroArch here. So device portal RetroArch, uninstall the 1.9.13 version. Alright, that's gone. Now we're going to add in 1.9.14. So I already pre-downloaded that. Next, add the dependency file. And start. Make sure you're using Edge, guys. Edge gives the most reliable performance with this stuff. Alright, there it is. 1.9.14 successfully registered. Awesome. So now we'll go back in and we'll grab all of those folders that I moved out a second ago. Put them back into our x64 folder. PS2 games are decently playable. Depends on what you consider playable, personally. Sorry, I'm tired of hurry up and wait type things. I'm over it. Playlists are broken right now. At least they were in 1.9.13. We'll see if they work now. Because, actually, I'm going to delete my playlists. None of them work anyway, so... We'll just, we'll delete all the playlists. Since none of them work. Dolphin on Xbox, or Dolphin on RetroArch in general, is over a year out of date. Really sucks. Although there was an update notice in it for this update, so maybe they finally have someone working on it again? I have no idea. But yeah, that's everything I need to do on the PC side of things for now. So let's go ahead and pull that back up. There we go. I move it outside of RetroArch folder, but keep the S drive, yes. I move everything to the root of my file share, so that way I can delete RetroArch, so it won't delete anything, and then I move everything back in when it's done. Yeah. Well, yeah, you always want to back certain things up. What are good games to add to play on RetroArch? Whatever you like to play. It's such a personal preference question. Anyway. First things first. Press back on your Xbox controller on RetroArch. Go to View Details and make sure you change it from an app to a game. This is the problem a lot of people are running into. They don't change it from an app to a game. And after you change it, just restart your console. Just to be safe. Gamecube games are playable, yeah. What up, Cryptic? Welcome. Elves. Or Elves or Elves? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but what's up? Welcome, welcome. Welcome everybody to stream. Wonder if they're ever going to have bezel support. it seems like most bezels need to have Vulkan or OpenGL to work, which the Xbox version does not really have. So, Alex, but that was taken. All right. Well, if you don't mind, we'll call you Alex. All right, so it's just detecting all my USB hard drives. Love it. All right, so now that we've changed it, let's go and make sure the change took. Good, set to a game. And let's see if we finally got screwed out of our RetroArch setup like a lot of other people have been. That'd be interesting. Second thing second here, update assets. Yeah, there's a lot of limitations with the Xbox version of RetroArch in that regard. I don't remember what I was doing. Wow, I'm sorry, I'm tired. So I might space out a little bit here and there, I apologize. Third thing I like to do is make sure I set a menu hotkey, so that way we can get out of games when we're playing. I like doing hold start for 2 seconds, personally. Alright. Save current config, just to be safe. And, let's see here. So it's still seeing my USB drive just fine. And it's still seeing my S drive just fine, so... Like I said, I don't know why some people are not being seen with the S drive. But... there is the D drive as well, with the development files, folder, Windows apps, and sometimes loading games through this way works, sometimes it doesn't. It's really hard to tell what might work for some people or not. I don't know. But if you don't have RetroArch set to a game, you have it set to an app, S drive will always be empty if it's set to an app. So double check that first and foremost. But now I need to go ahead and reset my directories, so I don't have to wonder why my stuff isn't working. So my system and BIOS folder, we're going to move that back into S. Program files, Windows apps, RetroArch folder, system folder, use this directory. Thumbnails folder, this is for when we make playlists again. Program files, Windows apps, RetroArch folder, thumbnails, use this directory. Configs, I like to put this in S as well so I can access them easier. Windows apps, config folder, use this directory. Cores you never touch cores, never. Core info, databases, cursor, cheat files, video files. Shaders I moved to S as well so I could add custom shaders in if I wanted to. Windows apps. Shaders, use this directory. Recordings, overlays, screenshots, controller input, playlists. Here we go. S, program files, Windows apps. Playlist, use this directory. Save files, S. Program files, Windows apps, RetroArch folder, saves, use this directory. Save states, S. Program files, Windows apps, RetroArch folder, states folder, use this directory. And there we go. Main menu, config file, save current config. And I'm gonna quit out of RetroArch just to make sure everything takes effect. Load back in. There we go. Okay, so... oh, I need to update the core database files. That's something I forgot to do here. Online updater. So you want to update the assets, update core info files, update controller profiles. You can do cheats if you want, update databases, overlays. I'm going to update my shaders just for the heck of it. Alright. Pain in the butt because it takes so long to transfer. Yeah, it really depends on your network speed. What limitations have I found? Well, I mean, you're going to be limited by video backends. You only have access to Direct3D, which is one of the worst video backends for most emulation. There's a lot of cores that won't work because of that natively. That's why you have to have angle versions of cores like N64, Dreamcast. Then you can't use 3DS just because of limitations with dev mode as well. So... it's just... Not to mention, it's since the CPU speed's locked as well, you have a hard limit on performance you can get out of it compared to a PC. And unfortunately, it's under 4 gigahertz. If it was above 4 gigahertz, it wouldn't matter, but since it's below it, there's some trade-offs you're going to make in emulation performance for systems like PS2 and GameCube and Wii. Oh well. It's a fun little side project. I wonder why 4K isn't allowed? Because of the way the program talks to the Xbox, I guess. I don't know. They gave me an explanation for it. I just can't think of it off the top of my head right now. Oh, that sucks, dog. I'm sorry. You can copy and paste bezels from the PC to the Xbox if you move your overlay folder to the S drive. A lot of them might not work, like I said. Anybody working on PS3 for RetroArch? I doubt it. Anyone tried playing with the steering wheel on RetroArch? I have no idea. That'd be interesting. What up, Botch? Welcome, buddy. What about light guns? The only things that work on Xbox are Xbox accessories, so you can't do a lot of stuff. That's another limitation. You only have access to Xbox controllers on Xbox. Yeah, if you change your dev storage size, it wipes everything. Gotta back everything up first before you change it. That's one way to put it, Cryptic. Bad relationships? Oh no. Yes, always make sure you change it from an app to a game. I feel like that would solve 90% of people's problems. There's some other things where it doesn't work though. Like there's legitimate cases out there where no matter what anyone does, it just does not work. So I don't know. Is Sega Saturn good? Sega Saturn works great on Xbox. It has a powerful enough CPU for Sega Saturn, yeah. I like to use Beetle Saturn because it's accurate and it can run more things than like Kronos or Yaba Sanshiro, but if you want upscaling, you'll need to use one of those two. And it's getting to the point where it's getting pretty good. I just don't care enough about upscaling personally. So I stick with Beetle because it's super accurate and it works really good. But we got everything set back up, so we can begin loading stuff up. Let's see here. Start with PS2, since that's what everyone's always most curious about. Ah, it doesn't see my games. Oh no. Okay. In that case, let's do a restart of RetroArch because it probably needs to apply those core info files. There we go. Let's try it again. Hey, there we go. Good old restarts doing their thing. Alright, PCSX2. Oh, what is happening? Whiz! Whiz with the 3 waffles! For just a brief moment this morning, I stopped believing. Journey is going to be so pissed. No, Whiz! You don't stop believing, man. You gotta keep believing. Thank you for the 3 waffles, Wiz. I appreciate it, buddy. You're so good. You're so good to me. If you're getting black screens on PS2 games, chances are you don't have your BIOS files correct. So double check those first and foremost. Because we're good. We're good here. Let's see here. Cryptic, that's hilarious. Let's look at some of the news. Oh, that's another setting I forgot to change. I'll have to look at it here in a second. But yeah, fast loading, fast boot, boot to BIOS, memory cards, renderer, video aspect, widescreen patches, 60 FPS patches. So they added one more hack thing here to help a few more games play. I can't remember which one it was. But like I say in my PCSX2 setup vid, look at the PCSX2 wiki for specific settings for each of these ones to get your games going. because this alpha core can actually play a lot of things now. Performance might be a bit limited on Xbox for certain demanding games. Like I said, you're not over 4 gigahertz on the CPU, so it's kind of unfortunate, but oh well. Does this work just in dev mode? Unless you want to get a terms of service violating retail mode and jump through all the hoops involved to get that. Need Redream on RetroArch? Not really. Flycast has better compatibility and has an HLE BIOS implementation just like Redream does now, so I mean, I don't really see the need for a closed source port of Redream. Well, I mean, he closed sourced it anyway, so we can't anyway, but I don't know. I don't see any advantages to Redream personally, now that Flycast has HLE BIOS support. Alright, yay! So, MetalGearSolid 3 Direct 3D backend has all these bad spotted graphics. Love it. But hey, it runs, I guess. Still waiting for the perfect Dreamcast simulator for PS Vita. Oh man. My chat stopped auto-scrolling. I apologize that I'm so far behind now. I thought I wasn't getting any chat. The PS2 boot sound is amazing, Alex. Can't get into your RetroArch? Reinstall it. Reinstall and make sure you got those dependencies. One called Minecraft? I have no idea, Evan. You got a PS TV during the sales? Nice. Dude, a whitelisted PS TV is the greatest thing ever. I have mine right up there. I need to start doing stuff with it again. I don't think anyone's gotten 10K HE3 to work on RetroArch, by the way. Black Sky on Burnout 3 ever fixed? That requires the software renderer, which doesn't work on Xbox. So, not yet. If we could run the software renderer, that would be pretty awesome, but it just... yeah, it's not a thing. If you do that, it will break things. Let's see here. Glad that we can actually leave PlayStation 2 games now without it crashing RetroArch. That's been available for a few updates now. Let's see here. Forgot what I was doing there for a second again. I love it. I love that I'm so spacey right now. I apologize, everybody. Dolphin. There we go. I was like, is Dolphin not working now? I was going to be really confused if Dolphin wasn't working. Alright, they mapped... in the update notes, it says that they mapped... wow, I can't even get this onto the camera. They mapped shaking your Wiimote to a middle mouse click, so I'm wondering if there is now a entry in the controller config for shaking, because that would help out a lot of people. Let's see here. Alright, so we're on Wiimote. Doesn't look like it. Oh no. Oh no, not again. This version of Dolphin doesn't have any of the Wiimote stuff now. So we gotta backload to an older version of Dolphin again. Man, why do they keep doing that crap, man? It's like, just stick with the old version, because the new version is so busted. So, yeah, now we gotta revert back to the older version of Dolphin. Because there's no... no Wiimote controls whatsoever for tilt, movement, and all that, so... Crap. Really annoying. That's annoying. I hate Dolphin RetroArch Dolphin. RetroArch Dolphin's one of the worst emulators I've ever used in recent memory. Like, I hate it. I hate it. Gosh. I guess we kind of have... I need to see if we have the IR mode, because that's still here. Because that's usually gone too. I don't know. We'll need to load something up that can look at that. Just annoying. Join Discord, peeps. We are fun. I never use my Discord, hardly. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad that I don't do more at my Discord. I'm too busy, like, working on reviews and projects and stuff. Like, I don't use it. If I tested Melee? Not today. Oh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I forgot to change it to a sideways Wiimote or a Pro controller, actually. Let's do that. Port 1 controls, device type. Wiimote plus classic controller. There we go. Let's deal with that first. Oh, it's so loud. Oh, it has me set to player 2. That's the other thing. That's right. Oh, man. Player 1 is broken in this version of Dolphin. So I am so happy that they put this freaking version of Dolphin back in. So happy. It's not annoying. In the slightest. What up, Proxy? It's been a minute. Project M is better. I actually don't really care for Super Smash Bros. Anymore. The Smash community has destroyed any love I have for that series. But here you go. Here's Melee. Anyway. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. BRB, alright, Jedi. Yeah, so here's Melee. Those are some of the most demanding games on PS2, Danny. There's not really much that can happen that will fix that on Xbox. It's very limited. Oh my goodness, Proxy. $10 super chat. Oh my goodness, Proxy, thank you so much. That's incredible. Alright, so there we go. That's another reason why I hate this version of Dolphin. It crashes on loads very frequently. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If there's a load, it will potentially crash it, so that sucks. I'm going to sideload back in the older... or the version that was in 1.9.13, because that one actually worked correct here in a second, because this is nonsense. Like, it's so bad. I hate this version of Dolphin. Alright. Let's try it one more time. Like, I'm going to get rid of this version because it sucks, but just one more time. San Andreas runs smooth, I know. Yeah. Christmas money? I know, right? Show me the way. Alright, here we go. Let's try this again. #1 fan. Proxy, I appreciate you so much. Like, seriously. There we go. That's the other thing about these versions of or RetroArch Dolphin, it doesn't have support for Uber shaders, so you'll always get shader compilation when you first run something. But yeah, I mean, love that drift though. That's a great drift. We're gonna sideload in the other version of Dolphin, back in the other version of Dolphin, because this one sucks. I seriously hate this version of Dolphin. Let me find my older builds of RetroArch here real quick. Where did I put them? Here we go. Xbox RetroArch files. Here we go. All right, let me close that, bring this back up for y'all so you can see what I'm doing here. So I've kept previous builds of RetroArch. Ever since the update started causing a lot of problems, I've kept previous builds on hand just in case. It's my backup plan. Vita's awesome, man. Especially if you put sharp scale on your Vita TV, do that. Put sharp scale on it, because then it just looks so good. But let's get that older version of Dolphin real quick. I could go to my Dropbox and get it, but I don't want to. So, RetroArch 1.9.13. We'll extract the angle program here. Alright, cores. Now I will find Dolphin right there, Dolphin libretro.dll. I'm going to cut that, go back into my S file share. Again, if you guys haven't followed my initial setup guide for how to get a network share like this, do it. It's so helpful. Like, look how quick this is. Like, bam, there we go. I now have the older Dolphin core back in once this transfer decides it wants to do stuff. Oh, it's opening another program, is it? Oh, my bad. Let's quit RetroArch real quick. It got angry at me. Oh, it's angry on my end. Oh, okay. I see what it's angry about. Okay. My bad. My bad. Okay, we will copy it this time. We will copy it for you. Does that work? No, that still doesn't work. It still makes everything all angry. Okay, what are you opening? You shouldn't be opening anything. That don't make any sense. Course folder. Okay. Well, in that case, let's just restart the Xbox real quick, shall we? Hey, look at that. Let's just look at the infinite mirror here. Let's, No? Okay, fine, whatever. We'll minimize that for a little bit then. While we oh my gosh. We will let the Xbox restart real quick, so that way it flushes everything. Lots of restarts involved with Xbox RetroArch, guys. The version of Dolphin I recommend. Any of them that actually have the Wiimote stuff. So, I mean, Dolphin hasn't been updated in over a year, so you're not really, it's really not that big of a deal to go back to a slightly older version, because they all are old. Blaine Locklear. Gotta take off. Alright, Wiz, thanks for hanging out, buddy. I appreciate it. Alright, let's try this again. So, dev files. Alright. Windows apps. La 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 la. Can we paste you in now? There we go. Restarts. Don't talk about copyrighted stuff on the stream, please. Don't risk my channel. Don't risk my channel for your piracy tendencies. I don't care if you do it. Just don't risk my channel. It's my livelihood. There's no switch cord now. Give you a link to it? Alright, hold on. Let's see here. Oh, that's not how you spell Dropbox. That's fine. Let's see here. Xbox RetroArch files. There you go. Hopefully that works. Quick link for y'all. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and go back to the Xbox now. Will we ever see 3DS on RetroArch for Xbox? Not likely. Apparently, Xbox can't run self-modifying code, which is what 3DS does for emulation, or so last I heard. Alright. But yeah, that should be the older version of the Dolphin Core. So now when we try to load up a GameCube or Wii game, let's try that again. Let's load up Prime Trilogy. Just to make sure. No. I guess it doesn't really matter. I can't read. I went by it like 4 times. That was amazing. Want to see OG Xbox emulation? Me too. Even on PC, it's not where it should be at this point in its lifetime, but whatever. What you gonna do? Alright. So, quick menu, options. There we go. So, I mean, it had this stuff in there in the new version too, but it didn't have the right stuff for this. It still doesn't actually. I don't know. It looks like it might be a front-end thing then. I'm confused. Yeah, because it's not doing it at all. Even with the older build. Did the older build not have it and I just didn't realize? Or this build, 1.9.13, didn't have it either? Okay then. Salky, I have a modded Xbox till this day. I do too. That's why I got so into collecting for Xbox N64 and Dreamcast for a long time, because they were the systems with the worst emulation for a long time. Now N64 and Dreamcast are pretty fantastic. It's just Xbox that still sucks. Alright, whatever. I will need to deep dive Dolphin a little bit more. Let's go to Dreamcast. I love Dreamcast. Need to put more R&D into emulation. They pretty much misled us. Well, yes and no. There's only so much you could do with rights holders. I didn't put a 2 terabyte. My gosh, that was so loud. Oh, okay, good. My audio is already muted for the capture card, so I don't have to worry about copyright claiming my stream. Nice. At Legends Ultimate Cabinet looks nice. If it's anything like their if it's using the same hardware as their littler version of it, it's alright. It's cool that they update it pretty frequently, but alright. Feels the same as always for Dreamcast, honestly. Dreamcast, again, is an angle version of the core, so it's running on OpenGL for a console that doesn't support OpenGL. If the Xbox could natively support OpenGL or Vulkan or something like that, like, this core would be so amazing. But this is just one of those cores that gets limited. Alright, whatever. Let's see if Dreamcast still crashes when you leave. Test Sonic Adventure 1? I think I have that on here, right? I might only have Sonic Adventure 2. Let's see. What do I have on here? Dreamcast. No, I do have one. Okay, Sonic Adventure 1. Sega Flycast. I cannot read today. Then we can load up some PokemonStadium too there, Danny. That homie with the big feet, how we doing? We're doing good. Slightly tired. I think I need another Dr. Pepper. Got that 1,000-yard stare going on. Alright, so Sonic Adventure. Let's go. I've never really played Sonic Adventure 1. Played the crap out of 2. Alright. So far, so good. It's loading. Let's be honest, the first one is underrated. Oh my gosh. Dreamcast, why are you so stinking loud? Holy crap. It's so loud. Alright. Two is better, changed my mind. I like 2 a lot. I mean, I can't really say anything. I didn't really care for the open world aspect of Sonic Adventure 1, like where you're walking around this town a whole lot. Won't companies sue you for streaming their games in emulation or something? How are they going to stream me for streaming? How are they going to sue me for streaming something I legally own? Why do you think I don't stream things I don't own? They can't do anything. I backed it up myself and dumped it myself, and emulation isn't illegal, so there's really nothing they can do. It's not a pirated copy. No save states for PCSX2. One is underrated, 2 is your fave. See, that's a fair assessment. Why aren't my drives reading anymore? I don't know. Certain people got affected by stuff, other people didn't. I don't understand it. Like, my stuff never broke like everyone else's. So I don't know. I don't even know the beginning of how to fix that for people because it didn't break on my end, so I didn't have to try to fix it. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's running okay from my limited testing with this, or play time with Sonic Adventure 1. That's all I hear about Snook. All I hear about is people having trouble these days. And it's like, I don't know, guys. I mean, it works just like it showed it in my videos for me. I don't know what to say. Like, make sure you change it from an app to a game. USB drives, I know changing over to FAT32 file structure is a big one. All my USB drives are in FAT32 that I use on Xbox for this now. Oh, let's not jump, that's fine. Couple graphical glitches here and there, but nothing super major. And again, considering we don't actually have a native video renderer, or OpenGL video renderer on Xbox, like, it's not terrible. And I mean, there's so much more you could do with it too if we actually went in and try to adjust some settings. It's like you can up the IR per triangle. Good, we're already on that. Mapping on, fog on. Okay, no, turn those back on. What am I doing? Certain games do require you to change the cable type between composite and RGB, so be aware of that. Change the broadcast and region to NTSC and USA so you get the full 60 FPS for certain games like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Yeah, upscaling stuff that I don't really care about. And per game VMUs you want to have on for at least VMU 1. Well, yeah, My Files Explorer is dead. You need to get rid of that. Everyone should have stopped using My Files Explorer quite a long time ago. Like, that program's worthless. It was only good for getting rid of garbage data from your Q drive, but that doesn't really happen anymore. So, yeah, Sonic's eyes were fun. Retail RetroArch doesn't boot up anymore. Don't know what to say, and I don't cover retail mode personally. How to dump a game that's not on a disc? There's a number of different methods. I use a Retron 5 now for Game Boy, Sega Genesis, NES, SNES. And, yeah, those are the systems that work for that. What up, Smoke? But yeah, I don't cover retail RetroArch. Can I create 2 partitions on the hard drive and use one for series games and other for emulation? No. Xbox is all or nothing when it's Xbox formatted drive. Yeah, uninstalling and reinstalling is one way of always getting things to work. And Snook, didn't you still say you were on like 1.9.9 or something? Because that version's broken thanks to system updates. No, don't deactivate dev mode. You don't need to deactivate dev mode. You don't need to use... you never need to deactivate dev mode. It can run Naomi games. I don't have it set up for that right now on my end. I'm actually looking to get a Naomi board so I can legitimately dump some things from it, so that way I can show it without worrying about the future of the channel in case someone decides to start cracking down on that stuff, which they likely never will, but I like doing things by the book personally. There's no Xbox or 360 cores in RetroArch, no. You have a video about this version? What you use now? Well, I mean, it's the same, like, all the steps are the same. So I don't need to make a new video because all the steps are the same, just the version number's different. Well, are you making sure that you set them to a game? Like, I know some of them got reset, like mine reset to an app, and that's why it couldn't read the S drive anymore, so when you change it back to a game, it works. At least for me. Way to change into dev mode without launching through the dev mode activation kit app that tells me that I'm already activated and to restart with the button. Well, that's how you change. You hit restart. It's activated and then you tell it to restart into dev mode. But yeah, DuckStation won't read it either. Are you on the latest version of DuckStation too? Because again, the latest dashboard updates killed a lot of crap. Like, if you're... the October update is what killed all of the file browser stuff. So if you're not on the latest versions of stuff, they won't work. I have a wife and 5 kids. That's why we depend on all of your support so much. Wink, wink. Sorry, bad jokes aside. Let's check out some N64 stuff. People are saying that Angry Lion's not selectable in Moopin anymore, so I want to check on that. Alright, so N64. Alright, let's go down to old GoldenEye here for funsies. Moopin 64. Oh, that was fun. Let's see you graphical glitches go. Oh yeah. His daughter's cute too. We actually just had another baby back in October. Oof. N64 running like garbage. The November update's the latest version. We'll see a December update here in like a week or 2 or 3. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe they'll just skip to January. Alright, let's see what we got here. Options. Yep, they got rid of Angry Lion. That's unfortunate. Now we're just stuck with crappy HLE implementations. That is too bad. Okay, let's try Parallel real quick. That should still have Angry Lion. Got a whole starting lineup now. Yup. Alright, let's see here. Let's go back in N64 games. And for those of you that don't believe I actually own all those N64 games, I mean, just look at my friggin' N64 shelf right there. I own like 200-something N64 games. Alright, let's try this one out, see what happens. Yeah, what up, Obama the Hedgehog? RetroArch, or dev mode in general, and a lot of apps made with dev mode right now are all really busted, and it's unfortunate. Ooh, so much lag. If I sold my collection, what do you think it would cost? I don't really have the most expensive games anymore, but everything kind of jumped up in price. I mean, I'd probably get like, I don't know, maybe $3 grand for N64. Yeah, I tried PS2. It's working just like it always has for me. Okay, let's see here. Graphics plugin, there you are. Alright, so we do still have Angry Lion under Parallel. Very good. Except that we have to use CXD4 too. Blah. Oh well. So let's do that. And then... maybe Parallel won't crash RetroArch. No, it will. Yeah, so... those are the only things that I know that I do differently than a lot of people. My USB drives are in FAT32 because nothing over 4 gigs, 3.5 gigs works from USB right now anyway. So my stuff was set to FAT32 by accident, and that seems to make it so it works compared to what everyone else is dealing with exFAT and NTFS. So I don't know. Take that as you will. Alright. Shaders only for N64 haven't been working. Any suggestions? Well, we'll look at it right now when I load back up GoldenEye. I can go to my history tab here. Oh, I forgot to turn off that Explore tab. Eeh. For anyone that hasn't turned off this stupid Explore tab down here, go into your settings, go into user interface, menu item visibility, and turn that crap off. It crashes RetroArch. It's so bad. Like, just turn it off. Turn it off now. Alright, there we go. Anyway. And then when I restart it, it'll pop back up. Alright, N64 Parallel. Let's see if it saved those changes for the core there to Angry Lion. Looks like it did. Your PS2 emulator never worked, all theirs do. It's most likely a BIOS thing then. It's mostly what it is. Oh boy. Angry Lion is so angry. Shenmue's playable on RetroArch, yeah. Isn't that game on Game Pass right now though? For the HD version? Saturn Emulation's awesome. Alright, so we do have Angry Lion under Parallel. Unfortunately, Parallel isn't as fast as Mupen 64 plus Next was. So we do have some lag here. Well, that's unfortunate. But hey, at least we still have the option. And you want to leave that on low, multi-threaded on. The Xbox was just a little bit faster, man. We wouldn't even have to worry about it. Oh well. What up, C-Funk? Like I said, Snook, I don't know why some people have issues and others don't. I have no clue. Like, it's not like I'm doing anything different, really. Trying to get Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. It might not work on the beta core or the alpha core. I just don't know. But yeah, that homie with the big feet. Are you taking off? Hope you have an amazing night. Thank you for popping in, saying hey. Appreciate it. Yeah, Saturn Emulation is fantastic. Here, let's load that up real quick. Sega Saturn games. My whole 4 or 5 of them. Well, I can't count. 6 of them? Yeah, 6 Saturn games. I don't even have all my Saturn games on here, actually. I don't have PanzerDragoon 2 on here. Or my copy of PanzerDragoon Saga. Beetle Saturn. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, Danny, I forgot. PokemonStadium 2. Yes, I'll load that up here in 1 second. Most of the time, if you get the failed to open lib retro core error, you're on the wrong video driver, or you change the core directory, which will break everything. Do I have Saturn 32? What does that mean, Jedi? I don't know. Yeah, Saturn Emulation is really, really good. It's a perfect use case for Series X RetroArch. This is dev mode. I don't cover retail mode since it's a terms of service violation. I wasn't very interested in jumping through hoops to get whitelisted for it anyway. I mean, each their own. I don't really care. People do whatever they want to do. It doesn't affect me one way or another. I just keep things on my channel strictly legal. Change your RetroArch from an app to a game. That's the most common cause of that. But yeah, Saturn is so good. MGBA still working good? Should be. Let me check out Pokemon for you real quick, since I promised you to do that, and I didn't. I'm pretty sure I have it on here. I should have it on here. Yeah, there it is. PokemonStadium 2. We're going to load up in parallel now. Playing the original PanzerDragoon on an Xbox. Oh, yeah. Wish I never updated anything on my Xbox once I had it running the way I wanted. Stupid upgrade age. Well, I mean, even if you, like, had your Xbox connected to the internet, it would have updated dev mode and broke all your stuff anyway. So, like, you would have had to leave your Xbox completely offline. Yeah, here we go. Let's grab us an Aerodactyl. Blastoise. Gotta get my boy Charizard. Even though their moves are so crap. Alright, where's Scyther? Where's Scyther? Scyther, I need you. Why are they so out of order? I'm so confused. Alright, whatever. Nidoking, you're up. Love how you just pop in freaking legendaries. Freaking hilarious. There we go. You don't move any files from D to S. The D drive is effectively what, like when you expand dev mode and you do all the file system stuff in dev mode, it is actually all being done to the D drive. The S drive is just a working mirror of the D drive that you are meant to access. Alright, so this dude has a lot of yeah, okay. They're all freaking, like, bug types and grass type. No, they're all bug types, yeah. I can see. Have I ever thought of a collaboration? With who and with who and doing what? I've recorded a few collaborations about video game box arts that I've never edited. I've had them sitting in my folder for like 2 years. I'm hoping to start editing those together here at the end of December and January. Get more original content going. Yeah, they should have been in Pokédex order. That was really confusing. They were in alphabetical order. What up, McClaws? I didn't see you there. You want RetroArch N-Gage? That would be cool. I would love an N-Gage emulator. And I have no idea what game I was playing. Maybe it was PanzerDragoon when you popped in. Use Pretzel Rock on your stream too. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love that you don't have to worry about copyright and all that. If it's telling you that you need to update in your dev mode app, you have the wrong version of the app. If you have a Series X and S, you need to use the one that has a Series X and S on it, and if you're on base Xbox One, you need to use the one that has a base Xbox One on it. It's Yanma. Yeah, this game is running perfect, even with Angry Lion so far. Stadium 3. wasn't that Coliseum? Wink wink. That kid. I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Elder Scrolls Travel, Shadowkey, most obscure Elder Scrolls title, only on the N-Gage. Yup. Dude, the N-Gage had some really interesting ports. Like, the Tomb Raider and Tony Hawk ports. Like, oh my gosh. Those were fascinating things. Need for Speed. I'm looking at Twitch chat, McClaws. My goodness, let me blarg you in peace, man. So N64, Dreamcast, and probably PSP still crash the emulator every time you're gonna leave it. And Savion, thank you so much for that YouTube sub. Thanks for supporting our channel. But yes, if you don't have RetroArch set to a game, it won't show up the S drive. So just to recap that real quick here. Press back on your controller, view details, change it from app to game, restart box. PPSSPP does have a standalone version. I didn't really care for using it personally, so I don't. I know it has a few fixes compared to the RetroArch build, but I don't have issues with the games that I play, so I didn't care enough. Notice your remote access number is changing between two numbers. Did you set it to a static IP in your router? That's what I did. I never mentioned that in the video or anything, but I set it to a static IP in my router settings, so that way it can never change. You have it set as a game. Reinstall it. Yep, PSP can sometimes randomly change to OpenGL after you play it. Doesn't happen as frequently anymore. Haven't tried it on this version yet, obviously, but PSP. Let's see if my PSP assets folder is still up to date, or if we're gonna get no text. Okay, good. It's still up to date. I don't need to change anything. Can you play N64 disk drive on RetroArch? Technically, yes. I don't own an N64 disk drive, so I don't have legal access to the BIOS file, so I don't cover it. Again, I show things on my channel that I legally own just to not have to worry about anything copyright related or anything like that. Like, we just keep it strictly legit on things I show off. But yeah, PSP still working like a dream. And you can even up the res and all that. Soul Calibur, wow. Dude, Soul Calibur is such a good fighting game. Yep. Let's see if it still crashes when you quit. I think they fixed that one finally. They did. Okay. So then when you go into the driver, it's still set to Direct3D 11. All right, cool. We really don't have to worry about it as much as we used to, I think. Like, that's great. I do not have Dissidia right now. I have it on my, I have it digitally. I haven't extracted it yet. That means your video driver is set to OpenGL and needs to be changed back to Direct3D. So settings, video, or yeah, settings, driver, video, Direct3D 11. I don't think you can play that one, X. I don't think there's microphone support. The unofficial RetroArch for retail mode that people are praising everywhere is a band magnet, right? Not... It's a terms of service violation, so if Microsoft wanted to, yes, they could ban people for using that one. Are they going to? Probably not. They just seem to be more content in deleting it off the store and from people's boxes instead. But technically, yes, it is a terms of service violation that they can get you for. Whereas dev mode, since it's more of a sandbox environment, it's kind of more of a gray area. Technically, they can still ban you for doing it on here too. But again, are they going to? Most likely not. You don't do a scan directory in Xbox RetroArch. It doesn't work. When you go to import content, you always have to do a manual scan. If you do a scan directory, you have a chance of deleting your entire user folder. From what I remember them telling me. So always do a manual scan, choose your directory that way. And then you choose your system name. 3DO. Default core. 3DO company 4DO. Or, no, they have Opera on here now, though. That's nice. Why do they have 4DO and Opera? Then you can choose file extensions if you need to, scan recursively, and just like that. Bam. And let's see if playlists are actually working again, because they are hecka broken in 1.9.13. So it looks like they might be working again. It does if you didn't move them out. If you watch my update video, I show you how to move things out of the S drive folder, RetroArch S drive folder, update, and then put them back in. Beginning of this stream, I went over that too. Anyone ever done this with a Mac? There's a pinned comment in my initial setup video that shows how to do the File Explorer stuff on a Mac. I don't own any Macs or Linux boxes, so I just can't cover that, if that makes sense. Oh, derp. I chose versus mode, and I don't even have a second controller plugged in. Yeah, good luck, Sanook. No longer GL and it's smooth. Nice. I mean, it's simple things sometimes. Simple things that can really mess you up. You play the Apple Bandai Pippin? I have no idea. Well, I mean, the only option you have is Durango FTP, really. Or using the network transfer method I outlined in the original video. Any idea where some GameCube games run super slow? The Xbox is only a 3.8 gigahertz CPU, so demanding games are going to have limitations since it's not above 4 gigahertz. Like, the baseline for really decent GameCube emulation is 4 gigahertz. There's a lot of games that'll run just fine under that. The more demanding stuff will not. Dude, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on 3DO is amazing. No, never move games over from USB. Never. Never, 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 never. You can store your games on USB and run them from USB, but you never copy them over from USB unless you want to break your entire setup. The Q drive has a 16 to 20 gigabyte hard limit, and if you go over that, nothing will work. Twilight Princess needs a special cheat code to work for the field and fog effects. I have a video in the Retroarch playlist showing you how to do that. I just got wrecked, that's fine. Gex, I do have Gex on 3DO. I don't know if I have it in this playlist. Maybe I did. No, I do. Yeah, there we go. Gex. Could I explain the USB thing again? Yes, so what a lot of people do is they put a game on a USB drive, put that USB drive in their Xbox, and then would use My Files Explorer or some other file explorer app to copy that game onto their Q drive. And the Q drive has a hard 16 or 15 to 20 gig limit on amount of files that can be in it, and once you hit that limit, it can't do anything anymore. So, like, people would copy PS2 games over and not be able to copy more PS2 games over, then they wouldn't be able to load games from the S drive or USB, because when you run a game, it copies that game from USB into the Q drive to temporarily play it from the Q drive. And then when you're done playing the game, it deletes it off the Q drive. That way it doesn't take up that space. That's one of the reasons why the PCSX2 core was such a problem for a while, because when it would crash, it would leave behind 3 to 4 gigabyte garbage data and fill up the Q drive and break everyone's RetroArch installs. But that's not a thing anymore, so we don't really have to worry about that. Yes, 3.0 is the recent one, and that's the same setup steps I followed for this video, or for this stream right now. Dude, the OLED Switch is amazing, Jedi. It's so good. So much better than the original. Holy cow. Oh, well. There's a few more things that have been added in since 1.913 that I haven't really covered, though. So if you go into Settings, and, where was it? Which one was it? Maybe it was Video? Yeah, here we go. So if you go into Video, go to Synchronization, and turn on Automatic Frame Delay. That will help out with input latency for a lot of games. Dude, Big Boss, yes, exactly. It looks so good. Alright, there we go. Can't even get the PS2 core to start. It's a BIOS thing then. It doesn't like your BIOS file or the way you have it set up. I have mine. I don't have any of my stuff compressed. I have all my stuff in uncompressed formats. If you're gonna compress them, use CHUD format. You're getting an LG CX? Nice. That'll be cool. My thoughts on Aether SX2 PS2 emulator? This is the first time I've ever heard of it. I don't really follow PS2 emulation a whole lot, but any competition to PCSX2 is a good thing in my mind. Need a Gex 3, yes. Postman Vice, thank you for that YouTube sub. Don't load games, don't load PS2 games from USB. PS2 games should be on your internal SSD. The USB loading is crap. And anything over 3.5 gigs will not load from USB. That's been stated in my videos multiple times. Anyway, any slowdown on Nintendo Switch OLED, it's the same hardware, it just has a different screen and more internal memory. It's the same CPU as the Mariko revision. What's another core that I want to look at real quick? DOS games still need to be on the internal SSD to work. Same with Commodore 64. Dude, I need to dump my new Jag game that I got. Kings of Edom. I like how I have 3DS games on here, but it's because I use this on a bunch of different systems now. DS. Let's look at DS here real quick. Mario Kart DS. Melon DS. That's why you expand your internal dev mode storage to fit the amount of PS2 games you want to use. Not every system has to be on internal. You only put the games on internal that have to be on internal, and PS2 has to be on internal, otherwise you're going to run into a lot of problems. How well does Cruise and Blast run on Switch emulation? Probably really good. Series S internal memory is so little, we need to find a way to play PS2 games from USB. Well, it just needs to be implemented properly and not the garbage state it's in now. Oh no, I burned myself out. No, Switch emulation's awesome. Switch emulation's really, really good, actually. Switch emulation's better than 3DS emulation. Let's just go under Wario, that's cool. Alright, anything been added to Melon DS since the last time I've looked at it? I don't think so. Console mode. Screen gap. Screen mode, that's cool, they added screen gap in finally. That's new. OpenGL renderer doesn't work, unfortunately. Enable DSi SD card. So yeah, there's some DSi stuff in here now, that's pretty cool. Neat. Get older versions of RetroArch. There's sites where you could get them, yeah. I don't have the link off the top of my head. You cannot play Switch on Series X now. Oh, man. Could you imagine? Because, yeah, here we go. If we try to load PS2 games, I think I have PS2 games on here, yeah. So nothing over 4 or 3.5 gigs will load from USB. So like Ace Combat 5's out, Vice City's out, MetalGearSolid 3's out, Robotech Invasion's out. So only 2 games I have that would run from USB for PS2 are Burnout and Freedom Fighters. And it's just not reliable. It might actually leave garbage data. You want to expand it to at least 10 gigs. Because those systems all run from USB. So you can get a USB drive, Danny, and just play all those games from that. But if you're going to be doing like Wii, PS2, DOS, like that's stuff that requires the internal SSD space. So, I mean, just plan accordingly. I think I have about 100 gigs reserved for my dev mode. Is there a CDI emulator on RetroArch? I think so. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. Let me see. That's what a wonderful Google search will do for us. Let's see here. You can use MAME, apparently. I don't know how well that works. Yeah, it looks like people use MAME for CDI emulation. Ugh, hate MAME. Seriously hate MAME. So bad. Oh, sorry, Snook, I missed it. Let me go look. Shouldn't it lock when you set a certain amount of space for dev mode? Like, you can go and change it freely now, and I thought before if you change the amount, you would have to wipe the whole S drive. Well, I mean, they might have changed the way it works. I don't know. I mean, I'd imagine it should still wipe it if you try to change it. No, you can play them internally. I'm just saying that those ones can be played from USB if you didn't want to have to worry about dev mode storage a whole lot. But I'd personally recommend people to do at least 10 gigs. That way you can play dual layer games for Wii and PS2. Do a video for CDI emulation. I don't own a CDI. I don't even own any games for that, so I can't really cover it the way that I do things on my channel. Scrambled borders? Nah, I'm not sure. Not sure about that, other than if you're using Glide, it might just be corruption. What about using the hard drive in exFAT? I mean, you could try it. Again, people that use exFAT and NTFS have their drives not show up sometimes, whereas FAT32 seems to be pretty reliable. Like I said, some people it works, some people it doesn't. It's really all hit and miss. You can slide it back and forth freely. Huh. That is fascinating. Gonna use it for PokemonStadium 2 and Gen 3 Pokemon games. Yeah. So, I mean, GameCube games are only 1.4 gigs if you don't shrink them with NKit or something. So, I don't know, 50 gigs, 100 gigs, like, it really just depends on what you're gonna do. But yeah, so this is what loading PS2 games from USB looks like if you don't have a fast USB drive. Like, this isn't a slow USB drive, it's 100 megabytes a second, but here we are, just still waiting. It's chugging away. It's chugging away, loading things up. Yes, if you compress the game down below 3.5 gigs, it will run from USB. But again, you have to rely on the unreliable Xbox USB protocol. But yes, I've done that. Like, that's what some of my Wii games that I have on USB are, because all Wii games are technically 4.5 gigs until you shrink them. Then they're their actual file sizes, and then you can compress them further to make them even smaller. So, like Kirby or something, those wouldn't run from USB. Then you trim them, and hey, now they work. So. PS2 emulation from USB. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Don't you guys just enjoy the hurry up and wait aspect of loading from USB? If you have a slow USB drive? Can you enter dev mode without wiping your quick resume? No. No, you cannot. That's the thing. I've never actually used really used quick resume because I always go back and forth between dev and retail mode. So I've never really used that feature. And the one times that it does try to activate it are like in online games where it actually breaks them, so I have to force close the game anyway. I read your video idea. I don't have a CDI or any way to dump a CDI BIOS or get games for a CDI. How about emulation for GameCube or upper consoles for previous gens like Xbox One? Less than ideal. The Xbox One line of consoles has a Jaguar CPU, which has some of the worst IPC imaginable. So it's really not great. You might be able to run a few really lightweight games, but for the most part, you're not going to get anything, anything playable, really. Not really. I mean, it's why you prep your storage for what you're going to need ahead of time. But, yeah, USB loading for bigger games like this is really not ideal. Yep, I'm done. I'm done waiting for it. Wake up, controller. My controller turned off because it took so long. Like, my goodness. We're done waiting on it. Run Jaguar Cd? Maybe? I don't have a Jaguar Cd BIOS to try it. I mean, it technically should, I think. Yeah, it can take upward of 20 minutes for it to load off of USB sometimes. That's why I don't want to wait for it. Like, it just... It's not fun. It's not ideal. That was a 2 gig game. That was Burnout 3, so it's like 2.3 gigs. And I'm just not gonna wait for it. It's not worth it. Series S is fun. I like the Series S. I mean, if you don't want to own multiple boxes, like, I have a Series S for out there. Because this is my production studio where I have, like, all my best equipment and stuff, and then I have stuff I play out there. People have reported waiting up to, like, 30 minutes for GameCube games to load from their USB drives. Like a GameCube game. Oh, man. And then when you try to load up after a PS2 game doesn't load from USB, you just get soft lock for a while. It's so good. No, you're not limited to 16 gigs on internal. That's if you just try to copy them from USB to your Q drive. That's not the way to do it. Follow my setup guide, get your S drive properly set up, and then you have as much storage as you set. Manage dev storage. Like, yeah, I have 105 gigs. So yeah, you could slide that. No, it's telling me that I still need to restart and it'll delete my stuff, Snook. That's weird. So yeah, you need at least 50 gigabytes of free space to expand your dev mode storage. By default, it is set to 5. And if it's set to 5, you can't load up anything bigger than 2 gigabytes. So you have to expand it. That's why I recommend expanding it to like 15. That way you can run dual layer games, but you'd have to like transfer them in and out constantly if you did that. So that's kind of why I set mine to 105 gigs. It just is enough for demonstration purposes. Do we know what the big changes in this build are? Bunch of updates to cores. You can read the changelogs. You're using retail mode? Oh, yeah, you're stuck with 16 gigs then. Retail mode can't expand storage. I think there's something about like storing your games in the download folder or something. I don't know anything about that because I don't use retail mode. The storage options on retail mode really limit it further more than even the limitations of dev mode already are. Or Xbox RetroArch already have. I don't know. The more people tell me about retail mode, the more I'm glad I don't use it. Does your Xbox restart in dev mode even if you select shutdown completely? Nova, you need to set your power option to instant on. So like go into your settings in dev mode, sleep mode and startup, and turn it to where'd it go? Is that not where it is anymore? Sleep mode, standby, I guess. Turn it to standby. They renamed these. That's weird. Yeah, change it to standby. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get it to load back up now. That would get it, given it a few minutes. How exactly does RetroArch in retail mode work? I mean, it's pretty much the same, except that you don't get any storage options. You can run it from retail mode. I don't know. Not worth it to me. Not worth it to me personally. Any update to PCSX2? Yeah, there's a few updates. I mean, you got a couple more hack options to get some more games running. But, I mean, performance isn't going to really change from this point on a whole lot. Nope. PS2 loading for freaking ever. Like, USB loading for PS2 is borked. But yeah, to get retail mode, you have to like join their Discord server, give them your email to let them whitelist you from their dev mode thing, and then you'll get a link that you can actually download to your retail mode. It's just a big hassle. And then Microsoft could decide to delete it from your store and your console at any given moment anyway, so I mean... Why is it not loading? Because I tried loading a PS2 game from USB. Don't do that. No, you cannot load games, PS2 games from USB without bugs. That's why we're friggin' soft lock right now. Like, I'm actually in a, like, soft lock cycle of my console booting and rebooting. Like, it is having so much trouble. Never load PS2 games from USB. We're gonna be stuck here for like 20 minutes just trying to get the Xbox back on. You even get your $20 back? I don't need my $20 back. I love dev mode. You can do a lot of stuff in dev mode. I'm kind of want to look into building some Xbox games in dev mode one of these days. I've never heard of that game X. That's funny. Nah. A lot of people's reasoning for getting dev mode or getting retail mode is interesting to me. They're like, well, we want to be able to party chat with our friends. We want to be able to, like, don't you have a phone? You can use party chat on your phone if you desperately needed it that badly. I don't know. I just don't have friends, I guess. And I have a computer sitting right here, so I just use Discord, I guess. I don't know. I mean, people's reasons are their reasons. I'm not going to bash on them. I might not understand them, but I'm not going to bash them for it. Just curious. There we go! Finally! Hey, look at that! We're back! My camera is hecka delayed. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, that is so delayed right now. Love it. That's amazing. Alright. Maybe we could start trying some stuff out again. Never load PS2 games from USB, people. Can we ask about certain games not booting? I mean, maybe. I might not have the game in question, but I mean, you can ask. If it's like PS2 stuff, it's most likely due to an alpha core issue or something. Or a setting that might need to be changed in the quick menu, but I mean, yeah, ask away. I love answering questions. That's why we made these videos. We want to help people out. Oh, gosh. Let's see if Gamecube loading from USB is less anal than it was in 1.9.13. Because it got really bad. It was really, really bad. Need for Speed Underground. Where are you? There you are. Nintendo GameCube. Anyone else have trouble booting Pure Solar for the Dreamcast? Any update 1064? They removed Angry Lion. So I recommend switching over to Parallel if you want to have accuracy for certain games that need it. Alright, let's see if Need for Speed Underground will load from USB. Probably not. USB loading is trash for these bigger systems. Especially Dolphin, since Dolphin's a year out of date, like it's held together with duct tape as is. But yeah, N64, if you could get the HLE stuff set up, it's pretty much the same. Donkey Kong 64 will have the camera issues in HLE. Angry Lion wasn't unstable, it's slow. I don't know why they took it out. But Parallel still, the Parallel core still has it. Can't get Super Smash Bros. Brawl running. We had that one running a little bit earlier. Just make sure you have it stored on your internal SSD. And that you got that GameCube or Dolphin System folder placed and detected. Yeah, USB loading's so trash for bigger systems right now. Holy crap. Alright, Mystical Juju did not work. We tried. We tried. Got nothing out of it. Ability to upscale resolutions is pretty amazing. Well, yeah, you get that out of HLE, the Glide plugin. That's what that's for. There's certain games that just don't work very well under HLE, like Resident Evil 2, Pokemon Snap. Oh, there we go, finally. There it is. Hey, hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Good stuff. I know, right? You can use USB loading on the original PS2. You have to get your games formatted certain ways sometimes, but yeah, I mean, it works. It's just barely fast enough. You need a PC or a phone or a web browser on some device to install the program. But yeah, there we go. We finally got it to load from USB. It took so long. Which save file do I have on here? Did I transfer my actual GameCube memory card onto this Xbox now? I can't remember. I think I did. We'll find out right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did. So this is for my real GameCube. I transferred my real GameCube memory card onto my Xbox. What is friends? I have no idea. Don't ask me. Don't ask me hard questions, Jedi. So yeah, USB loading is... Unless you have an external SSD that you're loading for them, it takes forever. Oh gosh. I barely beat this game. I beat this game after I transferred the memory card saves over, so I actually have this game completed now. That was like 3 months ago. But yeah, if you like Need for Speed Underground, play the GameCube version on Xbox and not the PS2 version. PS2 version is not working so good. Yeah, freaking USB loading. How did I transfer my memory card to Series X? I use Swiss on my GameCube, so I created a virtual memory card in Swiss, then transferred all of my physical memory card contents onto it, and then I just took the file off of the memory card in my GameCube and transferred the memory card file onto my Xbox. Bad is the PS Classic version of FlyCast to load. Yeah, it's bad. Like, I'm just using a standard mechanical 2.5-inch hard drive right now. That's why it's so slow. If you have an external USB thumb drive that has faster speeds, it'll be better. New idea for video, transferring saves. Yeah. I weigh my videos that I make on how easy will this be to explain, and how many questions am I gonna get about it, and decide if it's worth it, if that makes sense. While your games appear on D rather than S, might not have changed RetroArch from an app to a game. Yeah. I mean, for some people, the D drive works just fine. Some people, it doesn't. So, I mean, you could just go in and try it out, see if it still works. See what happens. Doesn't really matter a whole lot other than location. So, yeah. That still works. You wish Genshin Impact was on Xbox? Oh, that looks slower than normal. good sign. Love things being slower than normal. And it forced it into widescreen for some reason. Why did it force it into widescreen? Did I make a game option file for this game? I don't think so. Oh, we're at 6 times native 4K. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, we are all of a sudden using a different config file. Yeah, it's using a different config file now. That's weird. Alright, yeah, so my D drive is using a different config file than my S drive. That warrants some exploration later. Genshin Impact's not on Xbox, it's on PS4. PC, mobile, things like that. Did it come to Switch? I don't remember. Yeah, that's really fascinating that D drive uses a different config file than S drive. And it crashes when it's done. Okay. Alright, D drive, you're an interesting sort of beast, aren't you? Because we go back in, if we load that from the S drive... There's my games folder. PS2, GTA, PCSX2. Try that. No, it changed my config file for PS2 games, apparently. No, it just seems like my PS2 config file changed on its own, actually. So it looks like it doesn't make a difference. My PS2 config just somehow changed. Maybe it wasn't loading it up before, but now it is. I don't know. So yeah, it didn't change anything when I went to S, so it's not actually changing anything. Ignore what I just said. It didn't change anything. I just have different settings for some reason. There. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now I'll try that again. So yeah, it shouldn't really make a difference. My config files are just being odd. That's one of the reasons why I like streaming the new versions, because you get to see more of the behind the scenes stuff. Because like when I make the tutorials, that's doing this and exploring everything, making sure what breaks things, testing all that stuff, and then resetting the config file and showing how to set it up again. Like, this is the process behind the tutorial. And now we just can't get anything to load up at all. So, I mean, that's fantastic. Love it. Xbox RetroArch is so stable. It's the most stable program I've ever used in my life. It's 360 gigs available for Series S. It's driving me crazy. Need an update for loading PS2 from USB with decent speed. Yeah, at that point you kind of have to invest in like the external SSD for your Series X games or Series S and X games, and only use the internal for RetroArch and dev mode type stuff. I do have retro achievements. I love retro achievements. I want them to implement retro achievements on Polymega, because then I would be so much more hardcore into it. I freaking love the Polymega. It's the perfect system for people who don't want to do it yourself. And after explaining do it yourself all day, I don't want to do it yourself when I actually play games. Anyway. Would I say this version of RetroArch is worse than the last? No, this version actually loads stuff. There was a lot of things that wouldn't load before, and playlists seem to work again. I only have one playlist made. Let's make more playlists real quick, because that's going to be the real determining factor. Because playlists were broken on the last version. But they were working so far for that 3DO playlist. So let's make an N64 one. Default core. We're going to change over to parallel. I like having Angry Lion. I don't know how to read. I apologize. My dyslexia gets in the way sometimes, and it takes me longer to find things than I want to sometimes, but that's okay. You do what you do. Alright. So, playlist test, part 2. Hey, look, all my thumbnails are still here. Yay. Alright, playlist test. Hey, look at that. It loaded the playlist. Hoorah. Alright, close content. And 64 will never not crash RetroArch, I feel. Alright. Well, I mean, playlists work. That's a big improvement. Those haven't worked in a couple of versions. I mean, there's a lot of back-end stuff. If you never updated to 1.9.13, 1.9.13 added in auto frame delay for controller input latency to reduce it, so that's definitely worthwhile. I mean, otherwise, it's just a bunch of stuff about how cores work to make them more efficient at loading stuff. I mean, read the changelogs. It's the biggest thing that I can ask or advise people to do. Read the changelogs that they release on the site, on Twitter, their Patreon, and they give you a nice little overview of everything that's gone into the recent updates. It's not every change, mind you, but it gets the idea across. But this version definitely feels a lot more stable than 1.9.13. Just from this brief amount of testing, so I mean, that's always good. Only issues I've had on RetroArch in general is Paper Mario 1000-Year Door textures having issues and Animal Crossing City Folk crashing. Yeah, and I mean, the Dolphin core for RetroArch's over a year out of date, so I doubt that's going to be changing anytime soon, unfortunately. Like, you look at the version of Dolphin that they're using in that core, and it's just... it's almost a year and a half old now. Like, it's really bad. Yeah, Jags work good for the games that I've had for it, anyway. I don't have the most Jag games. They're too expensive for my blood. But it's worked fine. For me, anyway. Like, we go in and play us some Doom here. Has DuckStation Standalone been updated lately? I don't know. I don't really follow DuckStation Standalone. Like, you could go to the release page and it'll tell you when the last release was. Let's see here. It's just the GitHub page, right? Let's see here. DuckStation. Nope. There's the GitHub. Go back. Alright, so they released a build on November 1st. So yeah, they released a new build of DuckStation on November 1st, and you can get that in all of its various forms. And they have the UWP version here as well. Here, since we already have the computer up real quick, hold on one sec. Why? There we go. All right. Okay. Any real reason to update this version? If things work like how you like them, no. We're just checking it out. Alright, let's see here. There. Here's the newest version of DuckStation. So, it's set up. Ugh, I hate this UI. absolutely hate this UI, but whatever. It's not like RetroArch has a good UI either. But this mobile UI is not my friend. As you can see, we can't even see the top one. I think that says use this directory. Alright, where's the BIOS setting again? Right here. BIOS directory. Can I access the RetroArch folder? I don't think so. Parent directory. Nope, I cannot. Okay. Dang it. Ah. Do I have the BIOS files on this hard drive right now? I don't think I do, actually. Maybe I do? I do. Good. BIOS. Use this directory. There we go. Okay. Alright, open game list. Got angry about my Chrono Cross M3U file. Oh. Okay, load up. I love the PS Classic, PS1 BIOS. You get to skip past the Sony Interactive Entertainment logo, but you still get this awesome PlayStation splash screen, which is what I've always enjoyed the most. Like, I love that BIOS file. I have played Suikoden too. I never beat it, but I have played it. Alright, so, yeah, standalone Duck Station. And then we can actually get this one to output at proper 4K. How do I get there? Okay, there we go. My goodness. I don't remember how to use it. I haven't used this since I made that tutorial for it because I just don't have interest in Duck Station. Alright. Integer upscaling. That's right, it's like on some other page, isn't it? Which page is it on? You'd think it'd be on that one. Run ahead mode. Oh my gosh, which friggin' menu is it in? Oh my gosh. This one? No, it's all memory cards. Like, it should be under display, right? Like, I don't see it. Like, we have upscaling options here, but internal resolution screen. Where do we change the internal resolution then? There. No. Yeah, where is it? Hacks? Enhancement settings. Okay, this has got to be where it is. Right? Oh, that's why. This was like scrolled down so we couldn't even see it. That's so annoying. GG there. Nice. Friggin' love it. Alright. Yeah, so there we go. Now we actually have native 480 or 4K output on Xbox compared to what we'd get out of RetroArch. And my gosh, that looks sharp. Yeah, so now we are actually getting a native 4K. Like, that's so cool. Can't access S drive if I'm on a retail version of RetroArch. Nope, no S drive options on retail mode. It's one of the limitations of retail mode. Can't touch any of that stuff. Chrono Trigger's better, changed my mind. I like what you like, Jedi. Like what you like. Gotta get up early, got a day with Halo Infinite's campaign. Will either be a great day or a really trash one. Oh, I feel that one, Spartan. Chaos Spartan. I feel that one so hard. The multiplayer has let me down for Infinite so hard so far. I really hope campaign doesn't suck. So, like, I'm kind of desperate for campaign to not suck. Halo is such a big part, like, a big part of my gaming history. Like, if Infinite's really bad, I'm gonna be, like, absolutely devastated. Wow. Devastated. Blah. What's talking? Yes, you can overclock the CPU to make the game run at 60 FPS. There's all kinds of hacks you can do. And you can do all this stuff on the RetroArch version of the core too, other than the native 4K output, because there's no 4K output on RetroArch right now. Yeah, like you can go in and, where is it? Hacks. Where's it? Enhancements. I want PGXP. I don't want to mess with that. I just don't remember where anything is on this freaking program. There we go. Enable overclocking. Yeah, you can just noink this on up to, or not, apparently. Hello? I can't change it? Awesome. Won't let you move the slider? Okay, there we go. Now it let me move it. There we go. But yeah, crank this up to like 400%. And now, when we get into battles, they won't run at, like, sub 30 FPS. Let me turn on the show FPS display thing. Where's that on-screen display thing? Display FPS. No. Wait, what? Seriously can't find anything. Shows you how little I use DuckStation. I literally can't find anything. Here we go. Show display FPS. Show game frame rate. Show speed. There we go. So we are running at... We're running well above 60 FPS most of the time. But yeah, there's Chrono Cross running at 60 FPS at 4K output. I just don't care for the way it runs on dev mode. It has, last time I used it, it didn't have access to the S drive, which was really annoying. And it didn't save your USB playlist location, so I just didn't care for it. And the games that I have for PSP run fine on USBs, or on RetroArch, so I just don't care about it. So if you're on retail and want to replace some core with older versions, your only option is to install the older version of RetroArch. Yes, basically. And even then, it really depends on how the person who you got your retail mode from updated the program, because you can't really downgrade it either. Like standalone DuckStation, I can appreciate a little bit more than standalone PPSSPP, personally. I mean, each their own. Friggin' Doc. Alright. He's gonna beat Kid, how dare he. Love when it hitches on the initial loads. It's so good. Anyway. But there's that. For those of you that were curious. Hey, playlists, are you still working? You are! Good! Hooray! Alright, yeah, if you were on 1.9.13, definitely go up to 0.14. You'll get your playlist back. And switch over to the parallel RDP if you used the Angry Lion plugin. Can you run mobile games on Series X? If someone ported them to UWP, you can. Oh my gosh, the intro for this game is a friggin' nightmare. Do we have fast forward support on Xbox yet? No, of course not. Alright, so my keyboard is plugged in. Oh no, fast forward does work now. Cool. Unfortunately, we're on Angry Lion and the CPU is already taxed to its friggin' max here. Test DOSBox, wow. DOSBox appears great on Xbox. Gosh. I will never forgive Rare for these absurdly long intros that you can't skip past. They're so bad. Playlists were broken on 0.13 for a lot of people. That's the only thing on my RetroArch setup that's ever broken is playlists. They didn't work on 0.13 for most systems. I mean, you could get PPS SPP if you want to. You'll get better performance or output compared to RetroArch. And some games work better on standalone than RetroArch. I don't know where to get it. I think Dom's Discord server has it. But I don't visit that server. At least fast forward works now. Like, that's something. It's just like God of War. Some people mentioned the color banding in some other games too. I don't have specifics off the top of my head. I mean, if you play a lot of PSP, definitely get standalone. Like, you'd probably be happier, but since I don't really have that many PSP games, the ones I have work fine in RetroArch, so I just don't care. Oh my gosh, this intro, man. Even at like 1.5 speed that we're getting out of this fast forward here, it's just too much. It's too much. Like, this game is the bane of testing. Nice, Alex. Yeah, Microsoft's been doing some good stuff since Phil Spencer took over. I'm really excited to see where we are by the end of this generation. Like, it's gonna be crazy. If we get a mid-tier hardware refresh like we did with the Xbox One X, like, we're gonna see GameCube, Wii, PS2 running so good on a freaking console. Like, that's so insane. I wish they'd implement mouse support in RetroArch on Xbox already, because, I mean, mice are implemented in dev mode and Xbox, and you can use a mouse to navigate the dev mode menu, but as soon as you load up RetroArch, no mouse support, and it's so unfortunate. Were there any updates to the PCSX2 core? There were a few. Nothing super major. Alright, let's go on ahead and get out of here. Turn off fast forward. I love me some accurate N64 games, right? People like to bag on the N64's graphics, but if you actually get a decent upscaler for like the real hardware, or if you use Angry Lion... we're gonna check the camera first, my bad. But yeah, like, the camera works, unlike in HLE. Like, if you run Donkey Kong Emulation, or Donkey Kong 64 under Glide, the camera likes to glitch out, whereas it's not a thing here. Not on Xbox, Jedi, not on Xbox. Only Xbox controllers work on Xbox, so, I mean, you can get adapters that will change things into Xbox controllers and do things that way. That works, but natively, no. Welcome, Gary. I'm glad you're getting enjoyment out of your ass, man. But yeah, like, you load up accurate graphics, you get really good shader options turned on. Like, let's see here. Load up a quick CRT shader here. Easy mode for funsies. Resume the game. Like, it looks good. Like, it looks really good. This is native resolution N64 gaming with the CRT shader on, outputting at 1080p on the Xbox Series X, and like, it looks good. Like, it looks good. It probably won't come across in stream, thanks to stream compression and stuff, but like, this is good stuff. Oh, here come the bot spams. Lovely. So good. We don't usually get them during live streams. Nah, exactly. If a game is good, a game is good. That's all there really is to it. A game is good, a game is good. Like, I can enjoy the original Xbox version of Half-Life 2, even if it's slower, frame rate issues, graphics aren't as good, load times are crap. Like, I still enjoy playing that game, because it is a good game. Does come across, the CRT looks dope. I love easy mode. Like, CRT easy mode comes across like a higher-end Trinitron, lower-end PVM in a way, so I've always been really fond of this shader. The RetroTink 5X, Mike has implemented some really awesome consumer CRT shaders into that thing, and I absolutely love it. The Polymega has a really awesome consumer CRT shader. That's one of the things I love about the Polymega system, actually. It's a very accuracy-focused system for people that have real games, real hardware. Like, it's not so great for people that like to load ROMs onto things, but for someone like me that has a bunch of real cartridges, real games, and things like that, like, it's a good alternative to real hardware in that regard. You just put your game in and it will play, and you can activate these CRT shaders. And since it's accuracy focused, it doesn't upscale. It's all running at native res, being output at 1080p, kind of like what would happen if you run Beetle PSX with no upscaling, Beetle Saturn, and things like that. So I've really enjoyed that system for that reason. And then you apply that consumer CRT shader, and it just looks so freaking good. Thanks, Jedi. Think Sony will make a similar dev mode for PlayStation, open the door to emulation? No. Sony were the ones that started it with Linux on PS3. And we saw what happened there. So no, Sony will never open up a sandbox in my mind. I would love to eat my foot on that, but I don't think Sony will ever open up a dev sandbox. So, yeah. Someone asked earlier if shaders were working on N64. Well, here's an example of that. They were great. Oh man, look at all that bot spam. That's so good. Look at that, guys. We made it. We made it. We got the bot spam. Sony hates their fans. Sony went hecka California corporate, man. Like, they moved their headquarters to California. They're, like, not even a Japanese company anymore. Like, PlayStation is based out of friggin' California. And it shows in all of their decisions. Finally, try out your tutorials. They were absolutely worth it. I've been playing Luigi's Mansion at 3 times the resolution. Glad you've been having fun, Anthony. Sony's so far ahead in business there. Sony wins worldwide. Let's put it that way. Sony wins worldwide. Here in the States, it's actually been a more closely... It's not exactly 50-50, but it's a lot better than it normally is. Like, Xbox's main audience is US, Canada, UK, and Australia. Like, those are the only 4 markets that Xbox really sells in. Well, I should say. So, I mean, here in the States, Xbox really does sell pretty much 1-to-1 with Sony stuff. Not quite. It's a little bit more here or there, depending on the week, you know. But... And then in Japan, Nintendo's just absolutely crushing Sony. So, I mean, Sony wins worldwide because they're more globally known and accepted and used and nostalgia'd. I like to use that term, nostalgia'd. But in domestic markets where you think they'd be bigger, they're actually not as big as you'd think. Hate these kind of spam messages. It's part of life. There's literally no point in them doing anything that doesn't help them in the long run. Well, I mean, you have what Microsoft's doing with Game Pass. Now Sony's being forced to look into something similar because of it. So, I mean, that is why you want to have strong competition. So you get all these Sony pony fanboys that go in and be like, oh, death to Xbox, death to Nintendo. It's like, you realize if that happened, your console would suck. Like, it would suck so hard. You want competition. Like, let's get Sega back in this noise. Like, Sega, please make Dreamcast 2 20 years later, please. Like, this would be amazing. I do have a Discord server. I really don't do a whole lot on it. I'm more busy trying to make videos and hang out with my family and do streams and stuff than hanging out in Discord. But I mean, I try to check it. I'm just really bad at it. I like to make that known up front before anyone joins it. But if you type !giveaway, you can find that link. Or not giveaway, !Discord. Wow. Ugh. Well, I mean, it's still just a rumor at this point, Jedi. We don't know if they're actually going to do anything yet. It's just a rumor. But I mean, most of the time these rumors turn out to be true. So we'll see what happens. Like, I don't believe anything until it actually does happen, but you just never know. DC Revival for the win. Ancient! Buddy, what up, my friend? It's been so long since we've seen you in live stream. But yes, is there anything else you guys want to see real quick and that we could demo here? Like, I think we covered the more popular things already. But like, we can look at something pretty obscure. Like, let's load up. Someone asked for DOS. Someone asked for DOSBox. Here we go. So we'll load up some CommandAndConquer, and we'll load it up in DOSBox Pure, the best DOSBox implementation for me. I love this freaking core. It makes it so easy. So I already had CNC installed, so I could just run it just like that. No space between the exclamation point and Discord there, Jedi. Oh gosh, I hate MAME. Can Xbox One X run Metroid Prime with custom textures? It can't even run Metroid Prime, to be honest, Ancient. Can you donate without subscribing? There should be a donate link in the description of the video if you want to be amazing and help support us like that, Gary. Woohoo! I'm hoping that Brazil or third world countries get reasonable price for consoles. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. I know importing to Brazil is a friggin' nightmare from all of our friends that come and visit us and stream from Brazil. In the description, if you click on Show More and scroll down to the bottom, it should say, should have links and stuff. Dino Park Tycoon was the one. I don't really agree. I think Sony wins because of its games. I mean, there are a ton of great PS4, PS5 exclusive games which aren't available on Xbox, which only have the same old Forza, Halo, Gears. Yeah, but if you don't care about Sony's games, that's not really a winner. Like, I haven't cared about any Sony exclusive since Uncharted, honestly. Like, it's just, it's personal preference, and one that is kind of moot in an argument. Because Halo will be worth more to me than most any Sony exclusive ever will. And that's just how it goes. Like, people have preferences. Like, it just comes down to a fanboy argument at that point. No, these exclusives versus these exclusive. Xbox has no game. Like, really? Xbox has no games? I have like 250 original Xbox games right there. Like, Xbox has no games? Really? Xbox has no games you might be interested in. Whereas Sony has no games, for me, that I really care about. My PS4 game shelf, I have 13 PS4 games. And half of them are review copies.
Daddy,
Yes, kid?
when we were watching,
Oh, did you get a bump?
try to scratch me.
Uh-oh.
All the way to my neck.
Oh, no. Oh, my poor baby. My poor baby. Yeah, I mean, it all just is such a fanboy argument on what you prefer. If you want to have the best experience, you get everything you can, of course, but, like, after PS2, I lost all interest in most of Sony's offering. Like, the PS3 really killed most of my love for Sony as a company. And so when the PS4 came out, I got a PS4, got a PS4 Pro, because I want to be able to take advantage of them. But I don't use them. Like, I bought a PS4 in 2016. I didn't even really touch the system until 2019. Like, it's all personal preference. Whereas I play on PC, Xbox, Switch so much. And then, yeah, like, there's nothing on Sony systems that I would personally care about. Like, I don't care about most of this stuff. Like, people tout Demon Souls, Demon Souls I don't care. I hate Souls games. Miles Morales. Hey, I could get that on my PS4 still, so I mean, that's cool. It's not worth getting a PS5 for me yet. And then same thing for people that are looking to upgrade to a Series X or a Series S. Hey, I could get these games on my PC, my Xbox One. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's how you win. Your PS5's been on for about 20 hours. I mean, you got it day one. Oh, that's a bit different then, Gary. Oh, man. Like, it's just... Like, that's why I don't like really getting into those arguments with people. Like, I'm not saying we're in an argument. I'm just trying to explain things from my perspective. Because it's personal preference. Like, even during the PS2 era, like, I love the PS1 and the PS2 so much. Like, I love those systems. Yet, I will still play the GameCube and Xbox more. Just because I have more nostalgia for GameCube and Xbox because of some multiplayer memories with friends and things like that, as well as the fact that Rogue Squadron 2 and Halo have literally changed my life. Kind of like how Ace Combat 5 for PS2 changed my life. Actually, we need to make videos about all that stuff. I think you might find those interesting. I hope. But, yeah, like, it's all preference. But when it comes to actual flat-out numbers, Xbox sells just as well in the States as Sony does. Sony just wins numbers-wise worldwide because they have more market saturation across the globe. That's what I was trying to say. But at the same time, they lose in Japan to Nintendo, and they tie Xbox in America. So, I mean, that's just how it is. That's the numbers. Series X capable of Metroid Prime? Yes. Trying to catch up on chat, sorry guys. Your Android phone runs Dolphin great. You need to remember that the CPU in the Xbox One is a crappy Jaguar processor from like 2011, and AMD Intel Ryzen was trash for emulation. So, Xbox One, Xbox One X, while they may play games that are built for them pretty well, they can't emulate very well. You'll get up to PS1 without issues. You'll get a little bit beyond that, but not really worth it. Ah, well. Sony should revive Killzone. Dude, Killzone Mercenary on PS Vita was so good. So good. Killzone 1, not so good. Killzone 3, eh. Killzone 2, good, but limited in certain control aspects, but still really good. So yes, I could totally get behind that. The biggest thing with the Killzone franchise, Sony screwed it. Sony screwed that franchise from the get-go. They advertised the original Killzone as a Halo killer, and it was so bad in comparison to Halo. Just, the story was cool, gameplay was not up to snuff compared to Halo. So, they killed it that way from the get-go. Then Killzone 2, they killed it again by releasing all this internal demo footage showing the game running one way, and then when the game came out, it looked a totally different way. So they screwed Killzone 2 that way. And then Killzone 3 came out, and they didn't even really market it, that one. And then Mercenary came out, and they killed the Vita right after that. So, I mean, they stopped supporting the Vita shortly after that, I mean, so it's just... The poor Killzone franchise has just been screwed into oblivion. PS3, no. 3DS, probably not. We doing console wars up in here? Nah, not really. Killzone's PlayStation's Halo, except it wasn't. Resistance got a better push, honestly, than Killzone ever did. And even that's dead now. Look at that. Dead franchise. Ancient and Jedi talking about DOA. Love it. Yeah, I mean, Alex, play how you want to play. That's all there really is to it. Like, if you're able to get both and play it how you want it, like, that's just the true win right there. NES will run on Series S. Yay. Nintendo Online won my heart, but I lost interest thanks to the price upgrade for N64 and Sega. I was not going to get the expansion pass, but I needed to do it for testing gigs. So I have the expansion pass now, and it's not good. Like, I'm sorry, it's not good. DualSense is Sony's first good controller. My gosh, I don't even own a PS5. I own 2 DualSenses. Like, this is the first time Sony's made a friggin' good controller. This is a custom one I got sent to review. So it's got double height sticks and back paddles implemented into it. So I did a review of this one on the channel. But yeah. I have 2 DualSense controllers. Like, this is the first time I've ever liked a Sony controller, man. Holy cow. Sony controllers were always... they're too small. They didn't have good grip. They were very uncomfortable to use for me. Like, I've used third-party controllers on PlayStation since PS1, PS2 days. And then PS3, I got an adapter to use a 360 controller on it. I put up with DualShock 4s because they were at least decent. But, like, this is the first time I actually like a PlayStation controller. Like, holy crap, this thing is amazing. This thing is so good. But, I don't know, I like Series X controllers well enough. It ain't no Duke, but... oh. Some just have better games for your playstyle or taste, exactly. All the systems from last several gens have had most of them across the entire line of home consoles. Again, not old games are just good, play them all. Exactly. N64 sucks, right, on the Nintendo Online service. Some games really suck. Some are okay. There is a ton of input latency, regardless of what controller you're using for that system. I mean, for that service. Can RetroArch run Wii U? No. There's no Wii U core. Wii U is a closed source simulator, or CMU. The Stadia controller, that's another good one, actually. Oh man, I love N64. The history of the N64 cements it as one of my favorites. Like, not only do I have a ton of nostalgia for that system and a lot of love for that system and its library, as you can see from my 200 N64 game library over there. Just the history of it. Nintendo is just as responsible. The N64 is just as responsible for the success of the PlayStation as Sony was. And it's really fun to learn about. Anyway, let's get back to showing off DOSBox here. We got tangented. Y'all got me monologuing. Mouse with left analog stick. There we go. All right. There we go. Hated that controller. I didn't mind it. It was a very good dual-purpose controller. You hold it one way for D-pad games, you hold it another for how do we... There we go. Hold it another way for 3D games. I mean, there was no standard at that point. If it wasn't for the N64 controller, we wouldn't have had a DualShock. Like, Sony saw what Nintendo did, decided what they thought would make it better and implemented it. Like, it's cool how that works. Why won't you deploy? What's the matter with you? There we go. It's so fun to do DOS stuff, man. Command & Conquer is another one of those games that has a ton of personal history for me. That's why it's one of my all-time favorite games. Hi, Iris. Oh, wow. Cool.
I'm wondering where should I put them that's safe.
Find somewhere on the counter.
He said, are your mom and dad right? And like, my dad's streaming and my mom's getting really
Yeah. Yeah, just go put them on the counter. Thank you, babe. Alright. No PS2 games over 3 gigs work for you. Change your RetroArch from an app to a game if you haven't already. That's the biggest issue. It's the biggest issue people have. Favorite consoles are N64, Cube, then Dreamcast. It's a good selection. Seems like it needed a few more revisions. I mean, it works for what it is. A second analog stick would have been cool, but again, no one thought of that before the N64 came out. Really? The only thing that I wish the N64 controller had really done differently is have a more durable thumbstick, because that thing falls apart so fast. Otherwise, I mean, it works for the games it's built for. It does its job for what it has. Hindsight's always friggin' 20/20, you know? Star Wars series for N64 is Chef's Kiss. Makes me want to play Age of Empires 3. It's a good game. Does DOSBox Pure work on only DOSBox Pure work on Xbox? It's the only one I've ever tried because it's the only one that doesn't require a buttload of setup. They changed the default button layouts. That's annoying. Anyone gotten Castlevania Rebirth to play on Dolphin? I think some people have. But yeah, so I mean, that's DOSBox Pure. I really like it. Do I have Castlevania Rebirth on here? Might. Find out right now. Nah, I don't. I do not. I got MegaManX 2. That's a virtual console game. Because RetroArch Dolphin is a piece of trash. That's honestly the biggest reason for anything not working. RetroArch Dolphin sucks. Real bad. I mean, does it work on any other emulator? Or have you tried it on PC Dolphin and does it work? Because it might be your WAD as well. Like, you just never know. Oh, look at that. More bots. Awesome. What's DOSBox? It plays MS-DOS games. Or any virtual console games. Well, virtual console definitely works, as you can kind of see here. There you go. Yeah, like, virtual console works just fine. Virtual console is very demanding, though, for certain titles, so you might not get good performance out of them. But, like, it does work. We need better dolphins, maybe give them lasers. That's always a win. Yeah. So, I mean, this is virtual console right here. Yeah, we're in dev mode. I only cover dev mode. Retail mode's technically a Microsoft Store Terms of Service violation, so I don't cover it on my channel. I don't care if people use it, obviously, but I don't cover it personally. Yep, the spam bots are real. Oh well. Why is my dash button not working? Oh, it's on the triggers, that's right. Oh gosh. Yeah, they really screwed up the input for Dolphin again. Holy cow. Dolphin's all kinds of screwed. Okay, I have to really find the older version of the Dolphin core that worked right, because this one is not okay. You can get it all on retail? Yeah, really not worth it though. You get storage space limitations, you can't change out cores, you run the risk of a ban. Are you going to get banned? Probably not, but you run the risk of it just like you do on dev mode, only more so. And you have to jump through hoops to get whitelisted to get it to download in the first place, so I don't know. If it's your thing, it's your thing. I personally just don't think it's worth it. The storage thing alone makes it really not worth it to me. Heavy breathing. Yeah, I'm seriously heavy breathing into my mic. Yeah, check the WADs on Dolphin PC or something if you can, because they might just not be good. Oops. My webcam is hecka delayed right now. I don't know what's going on with it. Oh well. Technically, stuff could be bannable in dev mode, yes. It's less of a risk than retail mode, where it's a clearly spelled out terms of service violation, though. Spam bots met your lightsaber. But how you doing today, Andy? Technically, anything you do on a system beyond its intents and purposes can be a bannable offense. The whole thing about dev mode, though, is that you're supposed to be programming things and building things within the Xbox ecosystem. The reason it might be a problem is since they banned emulation from their store. But, again, that's why it's a terms of service violation to get it in retail mode versus just kind of this gray area of dev mode, as the more legally minded experts have told me. I follow the advice of my lawyer. But since there's really no legal precedence to the dev mode side of things, like, it's honestly a little bit like, Microsoft can fight for the retail side a little bit more, but even that someone could probably fight against. Like, emulation was fought against in Sony, or fought against Sony for Bleemcast back in the day, or Bleem, yeah, Bleemcast. That's why emulation's legal today, thanks to the Bleem team, Rip Bleem. But of course, downloading games, downloading BIOS files, copyrighted material will always be illegal. So if you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. Doesn't really matter. Okay, tell him to get off my computer. I am cold and tired, feel like I got nothing done all day today. Oh no! Sorry, buddy. Hope you're not coming down with something. Or that it's just cold outside. Buffering's not on my webcam. I have buffering disabled and all that stuff. I just don't really care today. It works fine other days. It just decides to get angry, so I don't care. Internet's actually holding up today. We have been going for 2 hours and 40 minutes without a single disconnect. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know with this streaming thing sometimes. Yeah, like I said, technically they could probably ban you. Are they ever going to do anything about it? Probably not. That goes for both retail mode and dev mode. Like, could they? Probably. Will they? Probably not. Grease up for the Apex event? There you go. What's the very best Mega Man game / my favorite? My favorite is Mega Man X1 for nostalgia, and I love playing that game. Out of every single Mega Man game ever made, In my opinion, it's probably X2. I think it has some of the best levels, it has amazing music, very responsive controls, very fun controls, and just really good power-ups. Like, it doesn't have any useless power-ups unlike other Mega Man games. So, I'd say X2 is probably the best one in the franchise. My favorite is X1. And I mean, I'm counting like classic Mega Man, Legends, Zero, and all that. I mean, PC emulation for Xbox is finally getting there. It's finally getting there. You can play a good, you can get a good selection of games playable on PC emulation for original Xbox now, including MechAssault 1. So I mean, win. Dang CX4 chip. CX4 chip is so glorious. It's funny because it's just a math coprocessor. It's really not as robust as something like the SA1 or Super FX. All Nintendo don't it. Yeah, honestly, PC emulation is the best route to go on everything, especially if you have a decent PC. Or if you have the new M1 Mac. Like, that thing is a friggin' emulation beast. Even without native cores running on it yet. Oh man, I'm dying. I am embarrassed now. Yep. Yes, it is. Yes, it freaking is. And that's what's funny. People have come out with alternative options for SA1 and Super FX chips, but no one has come out with a alternative for the CX4. Oh, it's delayed. It's definitely delayed. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it's got a big delay on it, but it's all right. Xenia's finally getting there. Yeah, it can do quite a bit too. It's really cool. Nah, there's no way to get CX4s other than scavenging one off of an X2 or X3 cart, which is not monetarily feasible for making a repro of X2 or 3. Like, let's take this X2 and 3 cartridge that we could just sell, cut off the CX4 chip to make a repro of X2 or 3. Doesn't make much sense. Arcade games, here we go. We got a couple of arcade games here, not much. So yeah, load up some Marvel vs. Capcom. I like to use Final Burn Neo, personally. I hate MAME. But let's see if MAME Current finally works. It is a lot more stable, Reagan. At least for me. Like, 1.9.13 was really glitchy. But this one's feeling like a return to form. And playlists work again, so I'm happy about that. Welcome back to Twitch, Jedi. Oh, look at that. More spam bots over on YouTube. This is great. We made it, everybody. We made it. We get spam bots during streams. Wish we could play Breath of the Wild on the Xbox, but no Wii U core. Yeah, Simu's close-sourced. The only person that can make a libretro core for Simu are the Simu developers. Alright, so yeah, MAME Current still doesn't work. Good to know. MAME sucks. Hate MAME. Hate MAME with a friggin' passion. I don't hate emulating things other than MAME. I really hate it. I don't care for arcade emulation for the most part in most regards as is, but man, MAME just takes it to a whole other level of crap. Like, at least Final Burn Neo makes it simple. Silent Hill 2 is why we need emulation. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the HD collection was unfortunately bad, I've heard. I can't do horror stuff. I can't. I just can't. Can't do it. I cannot. I cannot do it. Yeah, like the controls and stuff on Final Burn Neo are a little more streamlined than MAME. We don't talk about the HD collection. Yeah. We're just gonna spam you with that. Like, who even cares? It came from the worst timeline. Dude, same thing with Code Veronica X's HD version. My gosh, it's bad. Like, I did quick compare for Code Veronica. Well, no, correction. I did backer exclusive streams of Resident Evil because my backers loved to troll me at the time. So they kept voting for Resident Evil games. So we played through Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and we're working on Code Veronica before I stopped doing backer exclusive streams. But we made it like halfway through the HD version of Code Veronica. And then I did quick compare between the PS2 and Dreamcast versions of Code Veronica, and my gosh, they look so much better. It's ridiculous. You have to remind me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's so bad. Like, I loaded up the HD version after doing that quick compare episode, and I was like, wow, this is awful. Oh man, I'm getting wrecked by Captain America. I'm really not good at Marvel vs. Capcom. I love when people come in and try to, like, make me feel bad about not being good at this game. It's like, dude, I know I'm not good at this game. Who are you trying to kid? Like, who are you trying to convince that I'm not good at this game? What's new in this update? Check out the changelog. I don't know all the changes. They offer the changelog on the site and on Twitter and things like that. That's the best way to look at what's different. I don't remember how to play as Mega Man. Yay. It's so good. So good. Just spam all the buttons. Spam all the buttons. That's how you win in fighting games. You spam all the buttons. Ah! Alright, whatever. Alright, what else is there? What else is there we could look at? My 5200 game should still be set up correctly if the config files are working correctly. They are, cool, so. They made Code Veronica look better worse. Alright, so it saved the configuration for some things, but not others. Like, it didn't save the controller setup, so I can't control the game. Gotta love it. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, my controller's all screwy. There we go. That's better. And then just crash into an asteroid. That's cool. Your opponent can't expect your moves if you can't yourself. What other Wii emulators are there? None. Just Dolphin. And various forks of Dolphin, like Ishiruka. But as far as on RetroArch, you only got the severely out-of-date and crappy Dolphin core. Someone asked about Game Boy Advance games earlier. We can load one up real quick. Let's load up good old Tony Hawk 2. Man, they have so many freaking Game Boy Advance cores. Oh, that's weird. They're giving away a 10-year anniversary charm for Star Wars The Old Republic on Apex. That's fun. Can't wait to check that out. Wonder if I'll get it. I did. No, I never technically played that game on either of my connected accounts. Alright. The scaling is freaking off like crazy, but whatever. It's stretched to 16:9 instead of being 3:2. But I'm not really surprised. I messed around with a lot of my settings that I still have in the config files. Ow. I hate the judo. I always mess up that move on this game. Judo and Madonna. Never do good with those moves. This is one of my favorite GBA games. Love this freaking game. It was just so cool getting like a pretty authentic Tony Hawk Pro Skater game on the handheld. Like, that was so cool to me. Oops, I went the wrong way. Oh well. I need to try out the GPSP edition on PS2 RetroArch to see if this game can run at full speed. Because they were able to get most GBA games running at full speed on a PS2 now. Like, that's pretty crazy. But since this is this one uses 3D rendering, I doubt it would run full speed. Even though it's like one of the first GBA games. Phaser, lurk away, buddy. It's good to see you, man. Yomgi 3D, thank you. Have a good night. Alright, anyway. GBA is good. GBA is still good as always. Like, the only things you're really gonna run into trouble with, accuracy-wise, if you're not choosing to go the accuracy route, is just Dreamcasting up. Minish Cap for the first time in your life while testing some of the cores. Now you have an absolute hate boner for it. Oh, no. I've never played Minish Cap, actually. I never owned it. No, I do own it. I bought it on the Virtual Console. That's how I have it on here. I forgot that I bought it on the Wii U Virtual Console. I've never played it, though. So your Rebirth copy plays on PC, just not on Xbox? Okay. I don't know if it's popular. I know people enjoyed it at the time, but I don't know if anyone really still talks about Minish Cap. I don't ever really hear about Minish Cap, personally. I hear more about the Link to the Past 4 Swords release on GBA than I hear about Minish Cap from people. Like, how weird is that? I mean, 4 Swords was pretty cool, though, back in the day. I'm not gonna lie. We've already... check out Metal Slug 2, see if that's still got hardware lag like it always does. Probably have to adjust some settings in the BIOS here. The Universe BIOS. Yes, we do. No, we don't. It did it on its own. Good job. Any ideas how that could be fixed? I honestly don't know. You could try running it from the internal SSD instead of USB, or if you were running it from the internal SSD, you could try it on USB. Because all the WADs I've tried have worked. Like, even something like MegaManX 9 and 10 have worked for me. Or not MegaManX 9, MegaMan 9 and 10. Like, if I go to my Wii folder here, I have WADs for MegaMan 9 and 10 in here. It's like MegaMan 9, MegaMan 10. And I can load them up, and they work. So I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure what setting you would need to change to get these to work. Because, I mean, I just leave a lot of my stuff for Dolphin at, like, default. Because, like, here's Mega Man 9. Like, that's a WiiWare game like the Castlevania games, and it works. I don't know. I think one of the biggest differences, though, for me and a lot of people, is that, like, the stuff that I'm showing off and testing is stuff that I have dumped from my own personal copies. Like, these were my WiiWare games that were on my actual Wii, and I used, like, Show Me WADs to dump them to my PC. Like, I don't know if that makes a difference. Like, it could, but, like, that's... Like, these CD games, I dumped them from my CDs, like... WBFS is just a compressed file format for Wii games. They should work fine. Super Nintendo. I need to find my Super Nintendo games. They're all packed away right now. A lot of these were from Virtual Console, though. Like, I actually don't own physical copies of a lot of these games anymore. I got them on the virtual console releases, like Street Fighter, Super Star Wars, MegaManX 2 and 3. I don't own physical copies of those anymore, sadly. Had to pay bills, so I had to sell them. But I had them on the Wii U virtual console, so I dumped them. And so I still have them. Hooray! Does not play, cuz is an error. Bummer. Maybe I could convert it. Yeah, you might be able to. Do you have any experience with free MC boot on PS2? Yeah, I've been using it for years. I use a free HD boot. It's a lot easier to set up on a stock PS2. PS2 Fat, that is. PS2 Slim's actually really easy to mod now thanks to free DVD boot. Like, you can mod any Slim with a free DVD boot. Like, super easy. PS2 Fats you can mod really easily with free HD boot. People have asked me to do tutorials for those, but I don't really care to. I kind of did a free DVD boot tutorial on my how to dump a PS2 Slim BIOS file. Oh no, Operation Get Baby to Sleep Alone has failed. No! I'm sorry, dear. We'll have to do Operation in stream here in a second. Gotta get the other babies to bed. QQ Vents, thank you for the YouTube sub. Welcome. Definitely get the network adapter. The SATA network adapters that you get from like China aren't the greatest option. I think they mostly work, but like they don't actually have network capabilities. So if you could get an official PS2 network adapter from Sony, like the Sony one, you can actually mod it to have a SATA port. That's what I did on mine, and that is fantastic. And it wasn't very expensive to get the mod for it. It was only like 10-ish bucks when I did it. I don't know what it is now. But like, the network adapter wasn't expensive. I think I only paid like $5 for the network adapter and then another $10 for the converter to convert it to SATA. If it wasn't such a hassle to get it out, I'd show you. But my PS2, I don't want to pull it down and risk breaking something, because that's how things work sometimes. Oh no, DK got wrecked by a armadillo. Oh no. Wow. So the automatic frame delay option I showed off earlier really makes this game play a lot better than just standard BSNES on RetroArch. Like, this feels really crisp. Like, this feels really good compared to how it normally does. DJ D Swagger, thank you for that YouTube sub. Thanks for the support, everybody. We really appreciate it. We've been doing YouTube for 7 years now. Been doing emulation stuff for about 4 years now. But big thank you to everyone in the Series X community, emulation community, for really giving us like the first like massive explosion of growth that we've seen here. Like, we're so stupid close to the channel paying off our bills now, thanks to everybody. And then to our 44 backers, thank you for being extra support in that regard. And anyone that's donated over the years. For anyone that might be new here and doesn't really know us personally, I have been doing the YouTube channel for 7 years, like I said, but I also have co-owned / ran a gaming website called Game Tyrant for the last 5 years. We're planning a massive reinvigoration of Game Tyrant here for 2022. So I'll probably be talking about that more in the coming months, but that's where I do all my gaming journalism, and that's why I do reviews and stuff that you see on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so definitely turn on that automatic frame delay. Like this, that definitely makes a huge difference. Like this game feels really good compared to how it normally does. Like it seriously feels instant. Not like, to my perspective anyway. I'm not the biggest input delay observer, but you could definitely notice it on Donkey Kong Country before, and that's not here now. When I notice input delay, I know it's actually bad. Let's put it that way. So yeah, this feels really good. Turn on automatic frame delay. Did I just go back to the beginning? No, I didn't. Okay, good. This is where I get my dolphin, right? Yeah, there we go. Oh no, my dolphin! Get back here, dolphin! Don't run away like Yoshi. I'm actually not the biggest Donkey Kong Country fan. Like, that's my, it's my, secret reveal today. Actually, it's not that secret if you've been here a while. But, for anyone that's new, I'm not the biggest Donkey Kong Country fan. Love the music in these games, but they're kind of jank as none other. Not always in a good way. How do I get out of here? Where did I go wrong? Oh well. Anyway, Super Nintendo's working great. We haven't checked out PlayStation under Beetle yet. PS Games. There we go. Load up X4. And we want Beetle PSX. Let's see if hardware works finally. Definitely has that Battletoads jank. Good old rare, right? Yeah, the collision detection in Donkey Kong Country is so bad. Alright. Alright. This is going to be the last thing we try out tonight, and then I need to go get the kiddos to bed. And then I'm going to be hopping on Apex because there's a new event going live and I needs it. I haven't played Apex like much at all the last week, so I'm feeling withdrawals. Fun fact, Minish Cap actually replaced Donkey Kong Country as your most hated game. Oh my gosh, yes. That is amazing. I'm glad I'm not alone in being not the fondest of Donkey Kong Country. Winter Express, Watson Heirloom. What am I fighting for? Yes. Oh, I forgot you can't dash and attack at the same time yet. I don't usually play a Zero. Oh yeah, that's much better. I haven't really dug into playing with automatic frame delay on, but my goodness, it does have a noticeable effect. Definitely turn that on in the video settings, everybody. If you've had issues with the input delay on certain cores, definitely turn on automatic frame delay. You will be a little bit happier. What up, Daniel? Welcome to stream. Appreciate the kind words. I want to show you how to do it in real time approach to my stuff, so I'm glad it's really worked out for everybody. As well as it has, anyway. There's some jank to Xbox that I can't overcome. Like, there's people having issues with S drive, D drive, and weirdness that I have no control over, but eh. PCSX2, just use the latest version. There's no reason not to use the latest version of PCSX2 anymore. They keep going back and forth on which version of Dolphin is included with the builds, though, so that's the problem. Whoa, that was fun. Haven't done that before. Ah. Alright, well. PS1 works as intended. Yay. And do playlists still work? Playlists still work? Hey everybody, playlists still work? We're just gonna keep asking that every time. Do playlists still work? Battle for Naboo, let's see how janky you run. Automatic frame delay saved you there, I know, right? It really did. If there was any input lag, I would have died right there. That's pure honest truth. So, Battle for Naboo would technically be the most demanding game in N64 emulation. Just because of all the special microcode that Factor 5 implemented into their games. So, it actually runs pretty good under Angry Lion on Xbox until you get to these particle effects, and then you get the massive lag. The particle effects in this game are so stressful on emulation. So if we had a Vulkan renderer available to us on Xbox Series X, N64 emulation would actually be pretty flawless. But since we don't have access to a Vulkan renderer, we have to rely on Angry Lion, and the CPU is just not fast enough for it. But it does work for most things under Angry Lion. It's just the really demanding stuff where you'll see a lot of hitches at times. It's like, if this system ran at 4 gigahertz or more, oh well. Let's fast forward through the cutscene here. See if we even get any fast forward. Yeah, we kind of do. It's like at 1.5 speed again. Any little bit helps. I want to see the particle effects from the fountain. There's a fountain like midway through this level, and it just tanks the game with its with all of its particles. It's so insane. So good. The game's running at like 1.1 speed now. Like, we lost all of our fast forward speed because of all the text. I'm glad you were able to get your Wii U RetroArch working, Ancient. I actually need to go in and update that whole tutorial process. I'm thinking of making a pre-configured Wii U folder, because all you have to do is pop it into your apps folder on the Wii U. So it's something I could just make a pre-made folder for and have people download and use instead of having to individually download cores or something. No, that one comes with them all pre-installed, right? Yeah, it does. But then they wouldn't need to worry about it. Give them some accuracy focus settings and let them go to town. I could technically do that for PS2 as well, and PC. I started it on PC. I have a pre-made folder on PC that I need to update again to the newest version. You need to play it more instead of just updating it. Ain't that the truth? That's what so many people in the retro community do, though. They spend all this time like tweaking settings and getting things to look super nice and then never actually play the game. Like, same thing in the upscaling community and like everything. It's so funny to me. And I mean, I do it too. I spend more time showing people how to set up emulation than actually playing these games. So yeah, this game is not running at full speed even now. It's dropping frame rate pretty crazy. Audio stutters like galore. But yeah, let's get to that fountain. I want to see it. All right, we'll beat up these destroyer droids real quick. And the particle effects off of their shields are just so gloriously laggy. It's so good. Like, this game's playable if you mute it, honestly. If you turn off the sound, game's totally playable. To a certain degree. If you don't mind slowdowns. Yeah, here you go. Oh, yeah, the Fountain of Doom. Oh, it's so good. Oh, my gosh. Oof. I love that fountain. Love that fountain so much. Let's turn around and look at it again. Oh, yeah. Lag me more. It's so good. Destroy the humans. There we go. I need to finish my playthrough of this game. I started a playthrough of it like a year and a half ago. We got near the end and then never finished it. Oh well. It's good stuff. Like, if you turn off the audio in RetroArch to play that game, totally playable. Alright. Anyway. Then just a quick demo of Safe Exit, I guess. That way we can be ready to play some Apex here in a bit. Gotta get kids to bed, eat some dinner, play some Apex. But appreciate everyone that's come in and hung out today. I hope this has been informative, helpful, useful, fun. Anything under the sun that it might be for you, I guess. Oh, hey, I moved it over to the Xbox. I forgot about that. I have a KVM right here on my desk, and it's really cool. I have it attached to, like, 4 different devices. So I have my media PC that I do all the streaming and editing and everything on. And I built a cheap secondary PC to run PC games on because I was running into a lot of problems because my graphics card broke. And then I have a retro PC that it's hooked up to. And then it's also hooked up to the Series X, so I can move it between all 4 of these devices so quickly, and it's so nice. And it's so great that modern stuff still works on Windows 98. Who'd have known that would be a thing? Who'd have known that basic technology in our input devices for PC hasn't changed in 30 years? All of that? Oh, I like it. That exit do be safe. Yep, use Edge to get Safe Exit installed. It has the 3 dependency files. Get them all installed, otherwise it might delete some stuff. But I really enjoy it. Like, it's so nice. You don't have to worry about that stupid ticker anymore. Like, it's great. But anyway, big thank you again to everyone that's come in and hung out today. We really appreciate all of your support. It really means the world to us. We're trying to get this place to be self-sustaining, of course, so all the views and watch time and all that really helps us and pushes it. Even without any monetization aid from all that, just ad revenue and things like that, like, it really helps out. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that tutorials can help out. I'm sad that there's people out there that are having issues with certain things that are really beyond the scope of my control. Like, that sucks. But I don't know, like, the process is the same as those videos right now. So I mean, I was thinking about maybe looking into possible updates, but outside of having to swap the GameCube core again, like, there's really nothing that needs to be done differently. few options added here and there, but not really worth a new video. Not yet. We'll check back next revision. People keep asking me why I don't update the videos more often. It's like, they just don't need to be updated. Like, they don't need to be updated when we could do a stream like this and cover some of it. Oh well. We're going to be back on tomorrow at some point to stream the campaign for Halo Infinite. I really hope it doesn't suck. The multiplayer has made me livid. Really hoping it's good. But we're going to stream it. Y'all be there for my reaction to it if you are interested. Well, you can be there if you're interested. I mean, I don't know how to talk. I linked it a long time ago. I don't have a link to it right now. I'm signing off. Actually, it might still be in my copy pasta. Yeah, it's in my copy pasta. There you go. There's the one I know has what we're looking for. There you go. Alright. But outside of that, see you all next time. Thank you again for the support. Can't do it without all of you. Thank you so much. Hope you all have a wonderful night, morning, day, wherever you are in the world. It's in the chat now. It's right above your message. There we go. Yeah, so I mean, there we go. There's safe exit. I do not want to format this drive for anything. We want to use it for media. Why is it showing up as empty? That's great. We'll worry about that some other time. How much does only having access to Mac complicate the setup? It shouldn't really. If you go to my initial setup tutorial, Owen, I pinned a comment in the comment section of someone showing you how to do the file browser stuff on Mac. So, I mean, you shouldn't have any problems. Apex Legends needs an 18 gig update! Balls. Oh well. Ah well. That'll be done before I get the kids to bed. Anyway, thank you all so much again. I mean, we can't really thank you all enough. Like, we just can say thank you all the time. I hope it really comes across. It's always the biggest, my biggest issue. I don't think my thanks are coming across enough. But anyway, regardless, we'll see you all back next time. Later, everybody.
Like that.
We gotta start running because something happened.
Oh, due to Rock with a $5 donation. Oh my gosh.
No waffles.
Oh, thank you so much, dude. Rock.
I can, but then I can't hear the bad guys.
Waffles, 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 waffles,
Ah!
waffles.
Ah! No! He got me! No! It scared me. Dang it!
Oh.
Dang waffles! My heart. I gotta take a break. Oh my gosh, I'm lightheaded too. I'm gonna go wash my face.